On a sunny but cool day just outside of Houston, it is the final round of the first major championship of the season on the LPGA Tour. The Woodlands, the club at Carlton Woods. And the story coming in, no doubt about it, the #1 player in the world, Nelly Korda. That's still the story here on the final day. She has won her last 4 starts on the LPGA Tour, looking for 5 in a row this weekend to join Nancy Lopez and Annika Sorenstam to have done that. Terry Gannon past champ Morgan Pressel, Tom Abbott, Karen Stupples, Paige McKenzie on the golf course, and Amy Rogers to talk to some of the players when they are done. So we've got Nelly Korda on top, Brooke Henderson right there, and this player Jin Hee Im at 10 under.
She's made 2 of this length already today.
Im, a 25-year-old from Jeju, South Korea, and just a rookie on the LPGA Tour, playing in her first major championship and playing great. Made so many putts of length yesterday to get in this position as we take you back to the fairway and wait for that green to clear. So all eyes on Nelly Korda, up by 2, just keeps doing everything right. No weakness, right?
There has been absolutely no weakness. If you would look at her stats in the past year, maybe the one weakness would be her putting. That is weaker than maybe the rest of her game. Still not really a weakness, but that has been a different story in this streak. She is making almost 2.5 more putts per tournament over these last 4 tournaments than the entirety of last season, and that has been the biggest difference that we have seen from this incredible performance from Nelly.
Second shot, par 5, Karen Stupples out there.
This one's going on a little bit of a draw. It's going to miss the green left.
She's left herself with a decent amount of green to work with. It'll be a quick pitch down a slope there.
Brooke Henderson was right there to start the day at 10 under, but a double bogey back at the 4th. Made a couple of birdies back to back after that to get right back in the mix. Wouldn't give in.
No, that's for sure, Terry. There is a lot of fight in Brooke Henderson, and she's got 2.11 to go here. I think she'll relish the opportunity right now. I think anytime you get a chance to get on a par 5 in 2 and to start eating away at Nelly's lead. This one is out to the right, needs to draw a bit, it's hanging.
Does find the bunker.
It's not quite a match play situation, but they're definitely paying attention to what the other is doing.
No doubt, 2 of the biggest names on the LPGA Tour in that final group. Nelly Korda at 12 under, 2 under on the day. Henderson, the star from Canada, and a 2-time major champ at 10 under, along with Im. Gallery's out here trying to watch some history today as Nelly goes for 5 in a row. NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From the Woodlands, Texas, it's final round coverage of the Chevron Championship. 51 years in the desert and the 2nd straight year right here just outside of Houston at the Woodlands and the club at Carlton Woods. Jack Nicklaus design opened up in 2001. The setting here looked a lot different than when we left yesterday because we had storms move through the area. Play was suspended at just about 3 o'clock local time. Heavy rain overnight, 1.5 inches, but new irrigation here in the off season since last year, and it is drained very well and in great shape for this final round. Some sunshine, blue skies right now. As we take a look at some of the highlights, Nelly Korda getting started at the 3rd for birdie.
2 pars to this point, but doing exactly what she needs to do, give herself lots of birdie opportunities.
So they have to get it to 11 under, a couple of pars to start, and then from the bunker, this was so nice at the 4th.
Yeah, used all of her power to be right here in this short-sided bunker shot in 2, and just beautifully done.
Make that to get it to 12 under, and at least for the moment had a 3-shot lead. Jin Hee Im, the rookie here, 2nd at the 5th.
She was in contention yesterday, but had a tough start to the restart this morning of round 3. It's on fire so far.
trying to keep pace, playing in that second to last group to 10 under, and Brooke Henderson then at the 6 for birdie to get it back to 10 under. The bounce back.
She's had a very active scorecard today. Double bogey on the 4th. Back-to-back birdies on 5 and 6 to get right back in this championship.
Players won 13 times, 2 majors, and Nelly Korda a major champ as well.
Got this, Nelly.
Kind of had that look throughout the week and through the winning streak too. Talks about staying in her bubble, just playing golf, just doing what she does, and it's been more than good enough to this point.
Yeah, she's just really, I mean, she's talked a lot about her driver as well has put her in the perfect spot on every hole. These greens are firmed. You mentioned the renovation, Terry, that this golf course went through since we were here last year. Really to work on the drainage, and it has shown the work from the 1.5 inches that fell overnight. The golf course is in wonderful shape today. Green slightly softer than what we saw the first 3 days, but conditions cool, windier than we've seen, and a tougher golf course to play today, Karen.
You're not wrong there. I think the fact that the fairways are a lot softer, you're not getting as much release, so the shots into the green are longer. Plus the cooler temperatures.
There in the middle, but gravity is mostly going down the whole way. Take your shot, trust it,
And Morgan, this isn't an easy chip from here. There's a big ridge in the green and at the back of the green that's going to kick this to the right. Her second shot almost went too deep, and so she's going to have to negotiate that.
It's something you see very often. Nelly with 2 clubs out hitting a chip like this. A little indecision. Could have taken it a couple different ways. And on a hole that's playing 4.3 average today, almost closer to a par 4 than a par 5. That'll leave some work left.
Check out the marquee grouping brought to you by Rolex. Nelly Korda, #1 in the world. Brooke Henderson, star 2-time major champion. Then Hayden Yu, who played great to actually have the lead, up by 1 to start the final round, but 3 bogeys in this final round so far. Look at Brooke next. You think about the bounce back and that double bogey back at the 4th. It dropped her all the way to 8 under as Korda made birdie to get it to 12. She wasn't going to go away. If you know Brooke Henderson, you knew that.
No, we know she's a gritty player, Karen, right?
No question. That kind of really epitomizes what Brooke Henderson is all about. She likes to get stuck in. She loves the competition. This bunker shot is slightly difficult again. I mean, she's going to land on a downslope, got lots of bunker to carry. Hard to stop Morgan with the sand.
Yeah, well, she tried to get a little bit too cute on the one on the 4th hole, which led to her leaving her 4th shot in the bunker, leading to that double bogey. Not going to make that mistake again here.
Take it to the 9th, and Tom?
Yeah, Spain's Carlota Segunda going along well. She's 3 under for the day. They use some magic there from around the green, so that will be to stay 3 shots back. Of course, Nelly still has a birdie putt to come. The previous hole.
Hayden Yu, the other part of this group. 3rd player in this group beyond Henderson and Korda. I think it might be Brooke though here, huh, Karen?
I think it is. I mean, her shot just released quite a bit through. Hayden hit a nice shot onto the green. So she'll have an eagle putt coming up.
You're the 23-year-old from Seoul, 2nd year out here, in the 1 win last year at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas, and the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year last year on the LPGA. So a great start to her career. Her sister, caddy, reading putt.
I think that was the huge key for her yesterday, Terry Morgan, just how well she putted the ball. Just, it must have seemed like the hole was 3 times the size that it normally is to her, because everything was finding the bottom of the cup.
Yeah, Karen, she made almost 140 feet of putts just yesterday alone, and including a really long one here on the 8th hole.
I think that's kind of what we've been wanting to see from Brooke too, Morgan. She's very consistent tee to green, week in, week out, but a little streaky with this club.
You see she's got that flag stick out. I asked her sister Brittany yesterday what the thought was. We've been seeing her putt with the flag stick in for the better part of the last year and a half, and said, you know, just trying to do something different. It wasn't working the way that we were doing it, and let's see if we can mix it up and change the mojo a little bit. It certainly has worked so far this week.
Par 5's always a key, obviously, and you got a couple on the back nine too. 13 and then 18 where it's under 500 yards, and players this group at least can reach to the ninth again.
Up putt here for Carlotta. Could be a drop shot. It's a player who's had 31 top 5 finishes on the LPGA, a couple of victories. It hasn't managed to convert the chances that she has had to a high enough percentage with the talent that's in her game.
Couple of top 10 so far in her second season out here. Hit on you, the LPGA, and now this for Eagle.
I think the key to her Rookie of the Year season last year, Terry, was her consistency. I mean, she was just week in, week out, putting in good scores, good numbers, and just kept sort of plugging away until she finally got her first victory at Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Just a really phenomenal performance all around for the rookie. This one's downhill.
Never really got that started on the right line. That jumped left almost right away off of her putter face.
Bunkers have been a popular spot of the tee at 9. This is Im.
And 6 iron, which seems awful out of club. Wind coming off of the right. Good contact.
Just so hard to get it to stop. These firm greens, downwind.
Yeah, the golf course is going to dry out as the day goes on after the 1.5 inches of rain overnight.
So back to 8, more than she wanted for birdie. Korda.
It is, and there's going to be a bit of break to the right as well in this putt.
Oh, never a doubt. That's the way the week has been. That's the way 2024 has been. 3 under on the day to 13 under par. Today's coverage is brought to you by Chevron, the human energy company.
Back on the tee at the 9th. Nelly going with driver here.
And it is somewhat of an intimidating tee shot, Tom, with the bunks on the left and then the water on the right. Just kind of pinch in a bit. This is a low ball flight, Tom, but this looks really good.
She's practicing that range. Just maybe stay in that first cut or the rough there.
Up at the green, this is Im.
She has quite a bit of fringe to go through. It has been rolling nicely through that over the course of the week, and then downhill once it hits the green. Not overly fast because it is also back into the wind. One of the more exposed holes. This is about as windy as the players have felt all day.
Took a few bubbles through the fringe. Is it going to have enough pace to get there? This is an incredible performance by Im. Only her 5th LPGA start in her entire career. She's never played in a major championship before, so she's right there. Might help her that she's not playing alongside Henderson and Korda. She's in the group ahead up on that green. We go back to the tee and check in with Henderson.
And it feels like we finally got a downwind hole here, Tom. It's been like every time they've been teeing up, it feels like it's been into, but this hole, they finally get a little bit of relief from that.
It's a much colder wind today as well.
Out of the north.
Going left, is it?
It is, yeah. Be careful of those bunkers.
We clipped the edge of the bunker, and I think, well, we'll see. Actually, lying okay, but whether there's going to be any tree trouble there, we'll have to check that out. Let Karen scamper up there.
Here at the 10th, Lauren Coughlin, the 31-year-old from Virginia, who had the overnight lead after the first round with a 66, and is playing great this week, looking for her first win on the LPGA Tour. So starts the back nine with a par 4 off the lead. Check out social media. Jessica Korda with a young baby watching. Do not disturb. Watching Nelly to see if she can win for the 5th straight time. Everybody in the Korda family is a very talented athlete, but it is some history today that is on the line for Nelly Korda. You know, Morgan, you watch any athlete in any sport or another team that's on a roll like this, it's remarkable to watch the confidence they must have. It's also very hard. To win back-to-back out here is hard. She's looking for a 5th straight win.
I think about that post with Jess, do not disturb. Nobody wants to disturb Nelly right now.
Yeah.
She is on such a roll. I mean, so far this week, she's leading the field in birdies, second in greens in regulation. She is playing exceptionally boring golf, which is exactly what she needs to do. And considering she has had all the attention and all the pressure on her coming into this week to still be performing at such a level. She did have last week off, had the opportunity to recover a little bit after that really intense 3-week win stretch that she had culminating at the match play. But I was watching her practice today. Her team really kind of working to protect her from everybody else that was around on the range, anybody that might be able to infiltrate that bubble. They want to keep her as peaceful and as calm as possible, and that was really what was happening this morning, and we're seeing that transitioning out onto the golf course in her play today.
Trying to join Nancy Lopez, Annika Sorenstam, winning 5 straight starts out here. This time a major championship on the line for Nelly Korda. We talked to Nancy the other day. She said, you know, I know what this is like. I think every putt's going in. I think every drive is going to hit the fairway. And no one's surprised that Nelly Korda's here in the final round up by 3. Most importantly, I think Nelly Korda isn't surprised. She enters every event right now expecting to win.
Yeah, just like what Nancy said, when we're watching Nelly standing over a putt, it looks like it's going in. It looks like she knows that it's going in. And that last hole, the 8th hole, that par 5, a perfect example. Really didn't play the hole exactly the way that she wanted, still walks away with the birdie. She has absolutely obliterated the par 5s during this incredible stretch that she is on. 44 under on the par 5s, 54 under total through the stroke play portion up until this point. Just incredible.
Wow. Back out to 9.
In for a par. Up and down there, so she stays 3 back. Aerial coverage of the Chevron Championship is provided by SHI. You can see the 9th hole on the left of your screen, the 18th hole on the right side, the par 5 where the water comes into play with the second shot. Could add some spice to the proceedings later on this afternoon as the Chevron Championship comes to a conclusion. And on you, looking over at Brooke, who's not paying any attention, so she may just go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's probably she's away anyway, according to my numbers. She's got 144. She was, I think she had to be heart in her mouth a little bit with the tee shot.
Yeah, tight down the right side. The wind sounds like it's whipping right now.
It is, as Paige was saying, this is as strong as the players would have felt it.
And a little bit, because Anu's already started her routine, so she's going to play, I think.
Yep. She's got an 8-iron out. Wind really heavy off the right, because you made that little turn. It was downwind off the tee, now off the right. And from this angle, Tom, it's going to be hard to stop on this green, because you've got to carry over that front bunker.
flew it all the way to the back of the green. And you came back this morning, made 3 birdies in the holes that she played this morning, took the lead actually into this final round. Let's go to the 10th.
Second for Carlota Segunda, the star from Spain, Arizona State.
Gosh, Terry, only 30% of the field hitting this 10th green in regulation today. 11th as well. 2 really tough par 4s back to back here to start the back 9.
And the wind gusting.
Yeah, just full.
Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance for Henderson, who doesn't have any tree trouble, as we can see, Karen.
No, she got quite lucky. Does have a bit of a downhill lie, but I mean, wide open shot up the full length of the green. Not have to worry about the bunkers. This is not a bad spot to leave it in. The lie's good. Hasn't got much rough to deal with. All in all, worked out quite well.
John Vandersel!
Unlucky that stopped so quickly. I think that's an indication of how well it was lying. She's going to have a small ridge to deal with, about 6 feet short of the hole. Chevron Employee Pavilion and the media center right alongside the 9th green.
You can see just a little bit of trying to figure out what to do with this wind. This is a 54-degree wedge. We've got 108.
Yeah, right around that ridge there. Good look at birdie for Korda. A chance to get it to 14 under par here. The final round. First major of the season, the Chevron Championship. Looking across the water from the 18th to the 9th green, where Haydan Yu has this for a birdie.
Downhill all the way to the hole. The wind is on her back.
It's good pace. Oh, yes. One of those back with a long range birdie. We're back to 1 over for the day, excuse me. If that putter continues working like that, watch out.
Yeah, this has been one of the differences that she has made recently in her game. Started working with Chris Cho a couple weeks ago, a putting guru, and it's really paid dividends so far this week.
Settled down a little bit after the nervy start this morning with those 2 bogeys to open the round and another drop shot at the 5th. So not out of it just yet. Henderson for a birdie.
This one's quite awkward, Tom. There's a kind of an edge to the bunker that kind of kicks into the green, so it'll break to the left. It's uphill as well, so you've got to hit it up the hill in order for it to come down and break in left.
Has her sister attend the flag regularly from this sort of range.
I think, Morgan, you know, you and I were saying it's about depth perception and helping her judge the speed.
Yeah, Brooke doesn't have the very best eyesight. She just has talked about that a lot. Even if you might have heard her say off the tee, watch that B. She's telling her sister to watch the tee shot, because as far as she hits it, sometimes it's tough for her to see it visually.
Yeah, started wearing glasses in August of last year to play, did Brooke. Look at some insights by KPMG during this active Nelly averaging 68.72, 76% of greens in regulation, 28% of the hole she's making birdie or better, and 3.5 strokes gained per round for Nelly in this stretch. In stroke play, of course, she's played a few match play rounds as well. That was at Shadow Creek a couple of weeks ago when she got that 4th win. This for birdie at 9.
What's even more remarkable, Tom, is that those scores aren't in perfect conditions either.
No, she's had some tricky conditions, especially in the Ford Championship in Arizona. That was the third win. It was really difficult over the weekend there. Wasn't particularly pleasant in Palos Verdes, second victory.
Check in at 10. Gone to miss the green, as most have so far today here.
Yeah, it looks like it's nestled down into that Bermuda grass as well. Just a guessing game how it's going to come out of here. Which, to be fair, was a guessing game when she was in the trees on the 4th hole earlier today.
Remarkable.
Pitched it out and nearly holed it.
3 straight birdies in that run, nearly had 4 in a row, but that shot, yeah, it's incredible.
Henderson at the 9th, working with her sister Brittany. It's a family affair for the Hendersons. Sister on the bag. Dad Dave has been the coach for her whole life. Kind of a homemade golf swing in a way, the way that she swings the club, but it works for her.
Yeah, there's no question, Tom. It's not something that you would necessarily teach, the way that she swings. Like Nelly, the opposite, having maybe one of the most technically sound golf swings you'll ever see, but is Brooks ever repeatable? And it works for her. You know, one of the things I was talking to her dad before the round, he said we're looking at 14 under par is kind of the number we'd like to get to. Got off to a tough start, but she's climbing her way back. I don't know if 14 will be enough, though, Tom.
All right, Nelly might get through that barrier. Yeah, good 4 there for Brooke, chasing Nelly Korda here in the final round of the Chevron Championship. Nelly has just been incredible this season. Working for her 5th win. Is near perfect. Can she keep it going as they head to the back 9 on Sunday at a major championship? It is going to be a fascinating watch. Korda in front here in the Woodlands.
Back at 10, Carlota Segunda was not able to make her par putt, so back-to-back bogeys for her in the group ahead. Im now on the way.
That was 6-iron, 160 to carry on line with the pin.
Well, it does stay there. It doesn't go in the bunker, but awkward stance. The next one for the LPGA rookie. Well, look who the voice coaches team up with. Maluma, Sweetie, Megan Trainor, Anthony Ramos. Together, they're preparing for epic playoffs on The Voice. Comes your way tomorrow on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Wildlife here at the Woodlands. Gotta start setting up. As the wind's been blowing, it's not quite what we had in the early hours. They came back out after play was suspended last night. Well, yesterday afternoon, about 3 o'clock, and players not able to go back out. The 3rd round continued, picked up play at 7 a.m., played for a couple of hours, and then the final round got underway at 9:35. It was really chilly this morning when they started playing.
Yeah, thankfully it's warmed up a bit. The wind has picked up over the last couple holes, part of it due to the exposure on 9 and as well as here on 10. And players having quite a bit more into this green today. Fairway just not releasing and not willing to take out driver to try to squeeze it into the narrowest part. So for Stark, she's got 172 pin. Again, about 15 paces short of this pin would be a good landing spot given the downwind and the firmness of the green.
Yeah, we talk about the conditions being a bit cooler. Maya this morning was, for this afternoon, getting ready for the afternoon round, was the only one in shorts on the range. I said, it's like a perfect day in Sweden, isn't it? And she said, actually, I looked up this morning and it's right at freezing at home. So this, I'll take this. This is pretty good.
It's balmy. Hang on now, stop.
Perfect example of why this green has been one of the hardest to hit today. Downwind, firm greens, players hitting longer irons into this hole. Just over 30% finding that green in regulation.
Great story, Lauren Coughlin. Best finish in a major, tied 15th, led after the opening round and has just hung around. That was a long birdie putt at 11, so she'll have that to stay tied for 5th. Could be her best LPGA finish, not just in a major, come the end of the day. Aerial coverage is provided by SHI. At the club at Carlton Woods, the Jack Nicklaus signature golf course. Both nines coming back to the clubhouse. And looking down towards the 10th. Some beautiful homes here within the gates of the property at Carlton Woods.
Has he mentioned that every day? I think he has.
I might have driven around the neighborhoods in my golf cart just to have a pretty look as well. They look good from the golf course side and the street side.
Just your size, too, about 30,000 square feet.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's not the clubhouse.
There you go.
Well, that's a fairly average size house.
I was going to say, yeah, that's middle of the road here.
And by the way, we're talking about the weather and being chilly. It's not freezing. Temperatures in the 60s.
This is going to be the cool before they have hot for the rest of the year, basically until October.
Yeah, been in the 80s and humid the last 2 days until this.
This morning, though, was quite chilly as the players teed off at 7 a.m. and Hayden went out there and played incredible golf during that restart. 3 under par in the worst of the conditions of the week.
Yes, it is. No, it's mostly straight down.
Yeah, and Paige, you know, hit it perfectly when she said one of the most windy holes that the players have come across so far. Just pretty exposed, and the fairway is really soft, so not getting any run or release on these tee shots. And they nearly did go a little bit there.
Yeah, like it's sort of the grass between the spectators and the card, or just at the card's mine too. Straight down. Yep.
I've been impressed with Brooks driving this week, and in fact all this year, Morgan. I mean, we've said it a couple of times already that her numbers have improved over the course of this year over previous years, and that's impressive because she's a good driver anyway.
It's hard, Karen, for the numbers to get any better. This
Yeah.
one going with less than driver here. Just playing to keep it just short of where that water cuts in. Very soft bounce there.
Take you up next to the green. There's that stance along the bunker.
Yeah, an interesting technique as well. Looks like she might try to belly it.
I didn't quite get enough to get it there. So some work left for Jin Hee-in, 25-year-old from South Korea, as on this final day here at the first major of the season, it is world number 1, Nelly Korda, up by 3. Great history to this event. Rancho Mirage, Mission Hills Country Club for many, many years. Started in 1972. There is Judy Rankin, our friend, in 1976. The champ came close, actually, that first year and barely missed, but was here earlier this week. He had the Monday night dinner with the champions. You were there, Morgan, too. That's pretty special.
Yeah, I love getting to visit with Judy.
In for par now at 10.
Quite a bit of movement in this putt, right to left.
Yeah, it was right away. She knew it.
Yeah, and we actually haven't seen her do that. Stand up very early on her putts like that. It's definitely the strongest part of her game, what we've seen. Just not the stroke that she was looking for. Look at how simple that stroke is. Back and through, just the shoulders rocking, everything else locked in tight.
Went to the Q Series, came in tied for 17th to earn her card out here on the LPGA Tour this year. Meanwhile, Maya Stark, the 24-year-old from Sweden, who was a star at Oklahoma State, and a big part of that European win, the Solheim Cup last time around.
Fun player to watch, Terry. And I think she did the right thing as far as when she was just past the hole over the green. She got it back down on the low side, was able to see the break coming, and now has a simpler, more straightforward putt than that of Im, who made the mistake of leaving it above the hole.
She said she's been better with the shorter putts this week. Feels like she's trusting the line better.
All pars so far today for Maya Stark. So Im drop a shot here. Number 49 in the world, though, top 50 in the world. Won 6 times on the Korean LPGA, including 4 times last year. Success before making her way to the LPGA Tour. Water that comes into play here. That final group getting set, including Brooke Henderson. Trying to listen in, can't quite hear. Karen, what's the wind doing right now?
It's howling from behind. I mean, it's really tough for these players. They're standing over the shot. I mean, Brooke's got 175 to that hole. But the difficulty is because the way this green is angled, if you play more safely to the right, you're going to run out of green very quickly and end up in the bunker. So you really have to pick a great target and stick to the club that fits that target. If you're going a little bit more left, you have to take more carry. If you're going more to the right, then you have to be aware of the run through.
Karen, we've seen players, even players that have only landed it between 5 and 10 on the green, have still been going over.
This is where you just have to focus on hitting the quality shot and trying to leave the ball in a spot that you feel comfortable with for playing a third from. I mean, because this green is just ridiculously hard to keep on.
If you get it all the way back towards that hole location, Karen, there's only 4 paces left and 5 paces right. It's a very narrow back section of that, Karen. You run out of green if you miss it a little bit to the right on the angle of this green. You really need to take dead aim.
I agree with that. You've got to really buy into taking dead aim at that flag. And if you're not going to take dead aim at that flag, then you have to play as your max number, 5 less than what the actual total is. So you've got 171 with a 7-iron.
She hits it really high. Might have a chance to land something softly here.
No chance. You just can't right now.
And that just carried 5-7 paces further than she would have liked it to, but you have to err on that side with all the trouble short.
47 at it.
So Nelly Korda setting up. Check out the ball flight with our Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
She has an 8-iron out, and you heard Jason say 47 at it. So that's that carry that's over the bunker.
Where do you land this thing, Morgan?
I think you just have to take that. That's what you're going to get.
No,
Yeah.
you hit a great
Accept
golf
it.
And over the green is okay. It's going to be quick. Doesn't look like the lie is that bad. It looked like a very good golf swing. trying to get as much height as she possibly can. But you could hear it. You could hear it as it landed on that green.
Morgan, you think about the world #1s right now in women's and men's golf. It's not just that they're better than everybody else to get to #1. They're dominant. Look at what Nelly has done the last 4 starts. And, of course, Scottie Scheffler the last 4 starts, including the Masters and the Major Championship to kick off major season. And guess what? They're both up by 3 today.
I'm actually getting a kick looking at this graphic because I was watching Nelly watch a similar graphic shown on the PGA Tour coverage yesterday during the rain delay.
That's
so, it's really remarkable what both of them are poised to accomplish. I mean, just you don't see that streak. I mean, we've talked. This is the 3rd player in the history of the LPGA, to potentially win 5 in a row, and to be doing it at the same time as the #1 in men's professional golf is really quite remarkable.
With all the pressure on them, all eyes on them every single week right now. 11.
Yeah, time for those two to have a match head to head. Im on the tee. Safely away. Fine performance by Im. She's 4 back, but this is be her career best on the LPGA. Hard to think that wouldn't happen today. Let's go to 12.
Coughlin for another birdie.
Yeah, it is really impressive what Lauren has done after being in the lead in round 1, and she has played some wonderful golf, kept hanging in there, not phased by really the first time being in this position in a major championship.
Yeah, it's not only not won a major, hasn't won yet on tour on that first page. Bring it back down to that 10th green. 8 on you and Nelly Korda right now.
I think of the U to play. I think U's just a little bit further away.
Karen, let me ask you, because you played against Annika during that winning streak of hers. What does it do week after week for the rest of the field to look up? And even in the first round, Nelly Korda posted that 68 in really tough conditions in the afternoon. Right? What kind of does that happen as a player?
Well, I mean, look up and you see them there, and you just know that they're not going to make any mistakes. You know how good they're playing. You know they're going to hit great drives, great second shots, and they're just not going to let you in. And what it does is it makes you really try and up your game, and you try and force things. It's incredibly difficult to play against because the level of expectations that you have for them is so high.
Well done. And maybe that's part of the early, the tough start for Hit on You in this final group at 11 under, the early bogeys.
I wouldn't be at all surprised, Terry, because you think you have to you want to try to keep pace, you try and make something happen early, then you kind of settle into the round a little bit, which is what Haydan's done. But Nelly just keeps plodding forward, like there's no let up in her. It almost seems just inevitable that she's going to hit good shots. It's got to be a really cool place to be if you're Nelly Korda.
Look at this. Look at this. Come on now.
Talk about not opening the door an inch. Wow, what a shot. Only 6-3. The door talks how hard this green is to hit, and just, she had a beautiful shot in there, taking her medicine with hitting it, missing it in the right spot, chipping back into the wind. We've talked about how she is club in her hand. I mean, just showing off at this point, Terry.
If you weren't demoralized before that, perhaps the rest of the field. I mean, just throw your hands up and say, what can I do?
I mean, just spectacular stuff that we have seen for the better part of 2 months now from Nelly Korda.
The roll she's on right now, she gets over that ball. She addresses the ball thinking, I got a chance to make this. And Henderson now trying to match it. Have that left to save par here at 10. Think about how she played this hole, too. Knowing that you're not going to stop it on the grid. That's the miss. That's what you go. And give yourself a chance.
Yeah, but the times when she maybe has hit a poor shot or below Nelly's standards. I think that's the shot that she hit as her second on 8, and a bit of a lackluster chip as well. And she saves it with a great putt. So every part of her game is just able to balance out right now. It's remarkable.
So the 11th and in second.
Back into the teeth of the wind. She has 6-iron, 154 yards. It's whipping right now. That's a good 10-yard wind, I would say. This flared out to the right.
Yeah, it's a mistake there from M. And it's going to be a tricky up and down. You can see that how much ground she has to cover before she gets to the green.
Lauren Coughlin for par at 12.
This is talking to her husband before the round. She's made a lot of good par saves from this 4 to 10 foot range. Has kept her momentum moving forward, and there's another beauty right there.
Only bogey today on that par 5, the 4th. Brooke left with this for par.
And I think Brooke, you know, after seeing Nelly chip hers in, I think she felt like she had to really give that one a good roll. You know, just give it a chance. It's so hard to be patient if you're playing in this group with Nelly.
Wow.
The putter just came up and to the right a little bit on that one. That was not where she was looking. She didn't like that stroke at all.
Obviously makes it even more difficult. Her back 9 charge, 5 off the lead. Here for hit on you. Thinking about Zaydan gets set here. Nelly Korda talking about that last win, the 4th win of 4 starts, and how exhausted she was, how important the week off last week was. But you know, you get through this championship too, and that's got to build. Just the fatigue, no adrenaline, everything else carries you, but can't be easy.
Well, think about the day that these players have had. They started golf this morning at 7 a.m. They had a long day yesterday. Here, they didn't call it officially until about 5:30 local time.
Yep.
Quick turnaround. Most of them, everybody that I talked to, got up between 4 and 4:30 this morning to be out here, finish the 6 holes or so they had to play, and then right back out. Physically, mentally taxing, emotionally taxing.
So the leader by 4 heading to the tee at 11. We jump up to 18, the par 5. It's 498 today. So it is reachable. Jasmine Koo, one of the 6 amateurs in the field, one of 2 to make it to the weekend. Oh, it hit the platform and hopped over. All right, this is the first time I've seen that.
That is something I have never seen in all of my years of playing and watching golf.
Thank goodness for that.
She is so thankful for that Chevron advertising right there in the middle of the lake. Wow. That is just remarkable.
All right.
You take the bounces when they come.
Exactly.
You take whatever you can get in this game.
Amazing.
That was incredible. We got to talk to Glenn Wecklin from Chevron, get him to move the sign next year. He put that there on purpose. Amazing. Lottie Woad on the tee. This is the amateur that Jasmine Koo is battling away with for low amateur honors. The last.
Well, talking about 17 and Chevron as well. The Chevron Challenge, as Chevron in the championship goes beyond golf. Chevron donating $10,000 for every birdie the first 3 days. Building it up there for charity. And 17, the par 3. And after that, $100,000 per birdie here in the final round, and $1 million for the first hole in one. So you've had 49 birdies so far this week, and over $1 million raised for great charities. Number of great charities too in play this week. So hats off to all that's being done on the golf course and beyond golf as well this week. And of course, the purse raised, that announcement earlier in the week, $7.9 million, 1.2 to the winner, and the extension on the contract, Tom, through 2029.
Yeah, big commitment from Chevron. This is Im. Oh, that's a good touch. Save par, remain at 9 under. After that chip in at 10, Nelly reaches the tee at 11.
Heavily back into the wind here, Tom.
Right.
It is.
It's open over there. There's not the long grass that you do find around this golf course, but she may have some tree trouble. A loose one there from Nelly. We'll see what she faces when we come back.
I think straight, yes. Just that ever, only the door, it's almost just straight. Okay.
This is Im for par at 11.
It'll want to slide to the right, but I don't see this being played outside the hole. She always goes through her full routine, keeps that right elbow tucked.
And the index finger down the grip, which is unusual. Don't see that too often. Seems to work pretty well. She hasn't been able to play like this in previous events.
Saganda, this for birdie at 12. Well short. Rain last night, an inch and a half overnight, and yesterday afternoon too. Changed the greens much, you think, Morgan?
I don't think it would have changed the speed of the greens dramatically. I haven't seen any indication of that so far today.
Hit on you drove it right as well, not quite as far right as Nelly here, Karen.
No. Used ball though is sitting down in this Bermuda rough. She's got a 5-iron out. Wind into. Yardage is 170 to the hole.
Perched on the front left of the green today, the flag.
This is knuckled.
Sitting down. Barely see the ball. It's very tough to judge how much that shot like that would carry.
Well, she's holed a long one already today. That's probably going to be the longest putt she'll have this week. As we look down on that 11th hole, you can see the crowd gathering there around Nelly on the right side.
Nelly doesn't have an awful lot here, Tom. There's a big pine tree in her way and a couple of other trees, and I don't think it's worth trying to go over, so she's just going to pitch this one back out to the fairway.
Yeah, we've got a great look from above there, how those trees were in her way. And safety first, which you can understand when you're 4 shots ahead. Done a lot of work here over the last 12 months, including the drainage. Some of the drainage lines there that have been put in. That's why the fairways are so dry. As we take a look at the Rolex rankings, where Nelly is dominating. She's almost doubled the points of the player at second, Lilia Vu. She goes on to win here. You would think it will be double. Lilia Vu, by the way, the defending champion, was forced to withdraw prior to the first round. She was warming up for the opening round and had some back issues, hit some balls on the range. It just wasn't right. So Lilia did not play in the championship. Now Brooke.
Got a downhill light on, which is great if you're hitting into the wind. 140 to that flag. Smidge left, but not bad.
Just drift down a little dip in the middle of this green, which Hidon Yu is going to have to negotiate with her putter. And let's go up to the 18th.
So we saw that second hit the platform, hop over. Jasmine Koo now this for birdie. 18 years of age and a senior at Cerritos High School out in California. And we go to USC and play golf. How about that?
I was going to ask you, Terry, did she have to call the bank shot? I mean,
different sport. Don't have to here.
What a birdie. Wow. That'll be a memorable shot in her career for sure.
She and Lottie Woe, the two amateurs who made the weekend here. Lottie won the Anwa.
And that guarantees her the low amateur honors unless Lottie holds her second at 18.
Right.
So that was a big putt there. And Nelly.
Nelly's got 87 yards. This is a 54-degree wedge. Just a little controlled swing here. I think, you know, into the wind. Should stop very quickly.
Asking for it to get down. She knows that it falls away after the hole, but a chance to save par there for Korda after a wayward drive at the 11th. 4 ahead of the final round of the Chevron Championship. Long range here from you at 11.
This is going to require a serious amount of touch here, Tom. Downhill at first, and it's going to go back up through that little swale that you were talking about.
That's really good. That is really, really good. We're going for 12.
Jin Hee Im, par 3.
She has 7-iron back into the wind, slightly downhill to the screen. She hates it.
Yeah, that was a bizarre swing. She's been actually really balanced for the most part with her finishes.
Go back over to the 11th. You can see the board there. Henderson needing to close that gap.
It's not an easy putt here, Tom. It's uphill most of the way to the hole. Gonna have a little bit of a swing to the left as well. And then you have to negotiate how the ball's going to roll through that sort of fringe cut of grass. This is how Brooke prefers to play it, though, with the putter.
We saw her him do it the other day. Almost made a chipping motion with the putter from off the green. That one more of a typical putting stroke.
Would have learned anything from watching Henderson there?
Slightly different line, Tom. I mean, I think maybe just a smidge of speed. I mean, you could see how Henderson's was rolling as it went up and over the hill, but I think Nelly's reading these greens incredibly well right now anyway, and I'm not sure that she needs a huge amount of help.
Karen, I think back to the 14th hole on Friday with Nelly when she hit her drive right, forced to pitch out, made a fantastic par save, really helped keep her momentum of the week going.
I think in general, Morgan, that's been really huge for Nelly over the course of these 4 victories that she's had so far this year, is that the adversity that she's overcome in order to achieve them.
It is going to be a bogey. And she's overcome some adversity in the last few years. Remember, 2 years ago, she suffered a blood clot in March of 2022 and then had to undergo surgery, which was a very scary time for Nelly. She took it in her stride, but it was quite serious and had to be away from the tour for 4 months, returned at the US Women's Open that year, and then said she was always playing catch up because of the time that she was away, and that kind of hurt her form. Had a back injury last year, and in fact when she came into our studio after her win in Las Vegas, she said, you know, I've never had a year in my career where I haven't been injured, which was quite interesting to hear from her. And now that she's fit, you can see exactly what she's able to do.
Yeah, she said that she had never taken time off just to rest. She'd always had to force time off because of injury. She'd take those 7 weeks off between victories and Palos Verdes, and really, for the first time in her career, taking the time off by choice.
St. Jasmine shot a little bit at 18. Allow her at the moment.
That little luck goes a long way. Jasmine finishing in style with a 71, and a little bit of drama there at the last. Take us through what happened on 18 with your second shot.
So I was super in between clubs, and then so I decided to go with the 5-wood, and then I chunked it because the ball was above my feet, and then I can show you guys. That's the mark it made from hitting the logo that was in the middle of the water, and then it bounced onto the fringe left, and I made up and down for birdie. So yeah, that was really exciting.
A nice little momentum. You hang on to remember this moment, your first ever LPGA Tour event, your first ever major championship. How would you describe the experience competing here this week?
Well, in the beginning, I was kind of like, oh my God, like, there's Charlie Hall, oh my God, there's like Jennifer Kupcho. But then now I'm kind of like, oh my God, like I actually competed against all of them. I think I'm like 17th right now or something. So it's kind of cool just to see, oh my God, like I actually like played amongst them. So
what will you take away from this experience?
I don't know, just that like I'm good enough. I played with Lynn Grant today, and she was like, I don't think you should rush into your LPGA career. And I think, you know, I'm going to college this fall, so I'm just going to take it step by step and kind of just know, yeah, like, I think I'm good enough to get here one day.
I think you're more than good enough. A great finish, on pace to be the low amateur finisher in this championship. Congratulations on a great week.
Thank you so much.
Morgan, you know what? It might be her first event. She's a veteran. She brought the Sharpie with her to sign autographs.
That was awesome. What a wonderful interview there. And you could see even she couldn't believe what happened there on 18.
Exactly. Im, lengthy putt for birdie at 12.
Yeah, moving left to right off her feet and then straightening up at the end.
And work left.
Been a good day for the German Esther Henseleit. It's a third of the par 5, 13th. Made an eagle at the 4th today. Well, that was bang on line for another one there. She's a couple under for the day. Tied for 7th. If Jasmine doesn't have an endorsement deal with a particular pen manufacturer by the end of the day.
NIL. Im, yeah, good save. Well done. That was a tough 2-putt. That bogey, the lone bogey on the card today at the 10th. Bit of a rough go this morning, finishing up that 3rd round. But right there, still in the mix. Gallery making its way around to the 12th. So it's a 3-shot lead now for Nelly Korda. 3 under on the day. Hye-Dan Yu is at 10 under and 1 over. Really fought her way back after a tough start to get it back to 10 under. But Nelly perhaps on the verge of something that we've only seen done twice out here. Nancy Lopez, Annika Sorenstam, and Rare Air there, and haven't seen it in almost 20 years. 5 in a row. Annika in 2004, 2005. This is what they're waiting for. Start for par.
Yeah, after hitting it in the back bunker off of the tee. Hit a good shot to here. This wants to slide to her right.
Just hung in there. Not an eventful scorecard.
Well, this is a long putt here for Coughlin. She's got about the whole length of the green to go. It's for eagle. Goes downhill at the end, this green. And that's a very good effort. How about that 2-putt? It's going to be an easy birdie for Lauren Coughlin, and she is going to get to 10 under par for the championship.
So the player in second, 3 back. Hye-Dan Yu setting up on the tee at 12.
And this is it's been a tough par 3 so far this week because it's been downwind. Today it's a little into the wind, so the players need the ball stop more. Trying to control this one.
Still a tough hole today, Karen. Only 3 birdies from the field. Just tough to get it close to that front hole location. You got to take on all the danger short.
Well, particularly with the gusty wind into the players' Morgan too, you don't want to end up with a big gust hitting your shot if you're cutting it a little bit fine for that front yardage.
I think if you do hit the 50, that would be good. Because it's only 30 full front, so I mean, it's still up there a little bit. Like there, it's there, but it's not. It's like maybe 8. Maybe just 250. I can't. I don't really want to. Well, otherwise, I think you just need to hit this one. Yeah, it's a yard or 2 right to us.
Have to really commit to this shot because there's nothing happening down by the green. The flag is lying as if there's no wind at all, so you have to trust that there is wind up there. It's a 6-iron.
There's a lot of club, Karen. Brooke does like to take more club with the irons and move some shots around.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely need some wind. Safe play.
Yeah, made sure. Online, they liked it right away. Towards the back edge, so Nelly last of the 3.
Nelly's got the 7-iron out.
I think right now it's a little off. I think 90% is perfect. I think we're trying to play it like a 53 feel. Yeah.
It just kind of gives you an idea as to what kind of wind that they're thinking still up there. And it's 144 is the number, so 53 feel is what Jason said. So yeah, 9-10 yards worth of wind. So this should just be a smooth 7 for Nelly. Oh, this is drawing too much. Got to sit down.
When you get the ball turning into such a wind like that, it's going to magnify the miss.
Pretty much where Im was in the 2-putt, so difficult 2-putt there for par at the 12 for Korda up by 3. on day 4. Back at 12, not an easy 2-putt for Nelly Korda.
No, it's not. Everything about this putt is difficult. Initially, it's going to be uphill, breaking to the right, and then it's going to start to go back downhill towards the hole.
She's shown beautiful pace all week with the putter in her hands. Another wonderful example right there.
Be a lengthy birdie putt for Brooke Henderson coming up there. Up to 18, Lottie Woe, the amateur, 20 years of age from England, star at Florida State, missing the ACC championships this week to play in this event, a major championship. What a great win. Down the stretch at Augusta National, the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Played great here. All right, here's the birdie try for Brooke at 12.
This one's going to be downhill, and she's really close to that little sort of ridge in the green, so it's going to send this to the right. We've seen her make a few big ones, and this would be a really good moment to do it.
Yeah, you start to wonder if you're going to run out of holes, Karen.
It kind of feels a little bit that way already.
Especially the way Nelly is playing.
Take a moment to mention the Premier League. Tuesday, the run for the title continues on USA with the stakes already high for Arsenal's title run. Now they must take on crosstown rival Chelsea. The London derby Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time on USA. Arsenal top of the league. You hate to hear it. You really hate to hear it. Chelsea battling away to try and make a European place for next year. Karen's happy though.
Oh, I was going to say all the sensible people are really happy about that.
Oh, we got Chelsea fans in the booth here, though.
Oh, boo.
Devastated for my Sutton United, though. I think they're going to get relegated out of League Two.
Yeah, I don't know much about Sutton United. I'm sorry, Tom.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
No. But come on, the Gunners.
Back here to golf. 8 on you. This to get it to 11 under.
More straightforward than the previous 2 putts here, but still no bargain. And it's still downhill, and there's just that little bit of slope to the right that will impact this just a hair as the ball approaches the hole.
Same thing as Brooke, left it short, but we're getting to the point, Karen, you can't wait for Nelly to come back to you. You got to go get it.
You do, and they should know that she rarely does come back.
But it is that fine line. But we are at that time in the final round where you have to press a little bit. Early on, maybe you don't want to. Right now, you have to start.
You have to know where you stand in the tournament. Of course, they're playing with Nelly, so they see exactly where they are. But this is where, position really can dictate decisions coming down the stretch. These last 6, 7 holes.
And I think ordinarily, you've got Nelly coming up with a par 5. So you think, well, I think Nelly is like in players that have played over 100 rounds on tour. She's second in par 5 scoring average. So you can't expect to make up too much ground on Nelly on a par 5 either.
No, it's been great during this streak, the par 5s. This left for you.
It's a pretty tough environment too. Like as soon as Nelly is done, it's very much like a sort of a Tiger effect. Like if Tiger had finished out early, all the galleries would move on. It's a very similar feeling out here when Nelly puts out, the galleries are moving on.
Yeah, and if you're out here watching today, at some point you're going to make your way to that gallery. Try to witness history here. It'd be 5 in a row, as we said, for Nelly Korda, and this is how she got here So early on in the season, LPGA Drive-On Championship. This for Eagle at 17 to get within one of Lydia Ko.
She said that Jason told her on this tee box that she had no chance to win the tournament.
Yeah.
And that flipped her mindset around. Eagle on 17 and then this in on 18 with the birdie required to force a playoff.
What a shot. So she forces the playoff with Ko, who had won the opener, by the way, wins on the first playoff hole. And then the Fir Hills Seripak Championship at West Palos Verdes, and birding the first playoff hole to beat Ryan O'Toole, get her 10th career win. Not done yet, the Ford Championship.
Yeah, so a couple stressful playoff wins. And then the opposite here in Phoenix, and you can see the difficult Sunday conditions. Nelly making it look easy.
The win by 2 there. And then much different conditions. T-Mobile match play, Shadow Creek.
All different conditions and all different formats.
That's part of what's so impressive. Yeah, exactly. Different golf courses, different formats, conditions, and the win over Leona McGuire there in the match play. And right now on the verge perhaps of winning 5 straight starts. On the schedule. So they walk to 13. We take you up to 14. And Lauren Coughlin second. Sharing second place. How about that?
Yeah, tough hole location to get it close to today on the right side over this bunker. That's a good leave. Now Lauren certainly has thoughts of Solheim Cup on her mind, putting on a pretty spectacular performance in an event where there's a lot of points on the line.
Chance to get it to 11 under, be in second place all by herself as that final group makes their way to the 13th, the par 5. So we'll see what pressure they can put on Nelly Korda, who has a 3-shot lead on the back 9, the first major championship of the season, the Chevron Championship. Today's coverage is brought to you by Chevron, the human energy company. Back here at the club at Carlton Woods, the Woodlands, Texas, 30 minutes or so northwest of Houston. It's the Olympic gold medalist, the #1 in the world, Nelly Korda, leading the way at 13 under par. A couple of pars to start today after having to come back out and finish the 3rd round early in really chilly, windy conditions. Sun came out, though, for the final round.
Yeah, this is right after Brooke Henderson made a birdie putt on this hole as well, right in front of her, playing again in the same group together.
From bunker, this was special.
This was spectacular. Short-sided here in 2. And just landing in the perfect spot. We haven't seen anybody have such delicate touch out of the bunker so far this week.
Made birdie there when Brooke was making double bogey, so got it to 12 under, and then at the 8th. Didn't expect to have this long for birdie, but made it.
The way that she has dominated the par 5s in this incredible run that she is on just continues.
Off the green at the 10th. Get it close.
Maybe a door opening.
Just get it close. Oh, just go ahead and make it.
Door's not opening for the chasers.
Exactly.
That was just amazing.
Every time you think you have a chance there to gain some ground, the door closes through the winning streak. And they back out to the fairway at 13.
Yeah, a bit of a weight on the tee. This is what's happening in the fairway.
234 yards to the front portion of the screen. That left side, it would be the preferable leave.
Trying to chase one up there, no. Soft bounce. And we'll go ahead to the 14th hole.
And Lauren Coughlin, remember how she had that lead after the opening round, has hung around and now making a bit of a charge. This to get it to 11.
Yeah, this is a new putter that she put in the bag a couple weeks ago in Phoenix.
Oh, it went in.
And she is rolling the ball, dare I say, better than we've ever seen her.
No doubt. Back to back.
You on the tee at the par 5 30.
Wind is off the right here, so it's going to help a draw.
In the trees, it clipped them, didn't it?
It did.
Actually got fortunate there. She's going to be okay in the semi-rough. Now Brooke.
I think it's advantageous to definitely keep it down that left side, Tom, because if you're a little bit down the right, there are some pine trees on the corner that can, cut you off from really getting to the green in two. So, in an ideal world, keeping it down the left half of this fairway is perfect. Brooke, plenty of power to get here in two, even with these softer fairways.
Yeah, and we saw her even earlier this week. Karen take driver off the deck on her second.
That's a really cool flex, isn't it, when you're taking driver off the deck and hitting the green?
You know who else can do it pretty well is Nelly.
No kidding.
It is down the right side, but it's in the fairway. We'll see if she gets the driver out. Now back on the tee with Nelly.
It was quite a smooth-looking practice swing she put on that.
Yeah, a couple of loose swings there. Tee shot at 11 and wasn't happy with the tee shot at 12.
No, I think it's just a question of syncing it all up.
With the wind and this par 5 would set up very well for her eye.
She got through that one pretty nicely.
That is way down there. My goodness. Beautiful tee shot. And I was watching her at the end of her warm-up here, and Jamie Mulligan, her coach, was holding a club by her head in her backswing, trying to make sure she keeps her height going back and through the shot, and she does so beautifully here. Just textbook.
Jamie had her write 4 sayings in the yardage book that she can look at during the round. She was asked what they were. She said, it's a secret. Looking down on the club at Carlton Woods here in the Woodlands, Texas, with our aerial coverage, which is provided by SHI. See the 13th and 14th holes there in the middle of your screen. Nelly Korda's just driven it away nicely at the 13th, the par 5. May have a bit of a wait for her second shot. And Nelly likes to play quickly. The waiting doesn't really play into her favor at all. But she's taken it in her stride so far today. An incredible performance this season. She's won 4 tournaments in 4 starts. This is who she's trying to match today. Annika Sorenstam, who did it through the 2004 and into the 2005 season. Then Nancy Lopez, who did it back in 1978. 5 consecutive wins in 5 starts. Annika finished it off at this championship. That was her 5th back in 2005. Nancy was with us in the booth earlier. Terry, I thought it was really interesting hearing from Nancy and about what it was like to be in that situation, because there's not many people you can ask.
Only a few.
Yeah.
To be in a zone and just get over a putt and just know it's going in.
Maya Stark has had 12 straight pars today. He's trying to break that run. Good performance from Maya. She's been trying to work on controlling her anger. She said, I'm not going to swear this week. That was one of the goals. Not sure she's achieved that goal, having seen a couple of missed putts out there this week, but she's working hard to just keep her emotions in check.
You know, I saw her on the putting green before she was going out for this round, and she said, I didn't even have any coffee this morning. I was told I wasn't allowed. They have a nice little coffee bar inside for the players. She said, I think it's a little strong this week. I was a little jittery. So even with the 4:30 wake-up call, no caffeine to not be any more antsy on the golf course. Look at this, first birdie of the day.
Yep.
She definitely is a player that likes to show her emotions on her sleeve.
I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just a bad thing if it negatively affects your performance. And she felt like that was beginning to happen with her when she kind of boils over and then it lasts for a while and doesn't help her score. This is the 15th difficult hole. So Lauren Coughlin getting ready for her second.
100% yes. I'm kind of looking. Where are you looking?
I was talking.
Yeah, exactly. You see that person standing up by the guy in the chair that's in between the two tree trunks? That's exactly where I'm looking. Remember the practice round? How much you think? It's going to be the same today, okay? Wind's just going to be right to left, okay? Just a smooth one now.
Who's on her bag told me that this morning they played this hole as well. They had 150 yards into the hole. They hit the 180 club and it still didn't carry, that it was just playing so long into the wind and cold. Different story this time around. But still playing as the hardest hole on the golf course today and all week.
Safely aboard. I mean, this is massive for her. Even if she doesn't win here, if she finished solo second, she's going to earn roughly her entire career earnings in 1 week, and she's been out here 6 years. So this is a massive moment for her. Trying to record not only her best finish in a major, which is tied 15th, but her best finish ever in an LPGA event. Trying to beat a tied for 6th. It's her husband, John Pond, on the bag. He quit his job to come and caddy for his wife a few weeks ago. She said he's been badgering me to come out and caddy. He's caddied a few times, but I said to him, okay, I'll give you a trial. Let's see how it goes. He's saying it's going pretty well, I think. There's the purse breakdown with the increase in the purse this year by Chevron, which was announced earlier this week. 1.2 million to the winner. Now up to the 13th and in for birdie. So it's just a moment to go. Back down the hill. And so she's going to remain at 9 under. She would go on to make a par there. And the final group ready to play their seconds. Hughes on the way.
Yeah, she was going to have to get hold of all of that one to get there. 258 to the front she has.
Yeah, she clipped that tree off the tee. That definitely took some distance off of her tee shot. Left her a good bit further back.
Now Nelly second.
Yeah, 255 to the hole, so 225 to the front. Got a nice little upslope here, so you kind of feel like you can really launch this ball. She's done that. You've got it to move just a hair to the right.
Run through the green here. The back left slopes away. But that's not a bad spot to be, chipping back across the green. That's the proper place to miss that shot right there.
Now Brooke, you talked about those trees coming into play if you hit it down the right, Karen.
She can get to the front left side of the green. Pretty open, but if you want to get it more to the right, you're going to have to hit a little fade. With the wind off the right, that's going to be hard to do. And the ball above your feet.
No.
Yeah, just forced over there. And Brooke 4 back, needing to try and close the gap between herself and Nelly. And right now, Nelly looks very much in control of this championship, trying to equal history here. Already a major champion at the KPMG Women's PGA a few years ago. She's got an Olympic gold medal. Now she's trying to win 5 in 5 starts. Lauren Coughlin for a birdie at the 15th.
Downhill moving from her left to right.
Just to get within 1 of the lead. Did she? Oh, she almost did. she's talked about being tentative when the pressure is really on, but that one got all the way to the hole.
You'd have to think, Tom, looking at Nelly Korda at the top of the leaderboard would take pressure off of her in that sense. You kind of, every player in this field expecting Nelly to win, but Lauren just keeps giving herself all of these chances. That had to look good for a long time.
This is a third shot of the par 5, 13th for Haydan Yu.
I think the play here is to land it, probably about, I'd say 10 steps short of the flag, and a little bit left of it, and let it take the slope to the right and down towards the hole.
Yeah, it's going to be below the hole. She'll be putting uphill for the birdie. Just that tough start today, dropping 3 shots in the first 5 holes. Haydan Yu, having had the lead coming into the final round of the Chevron Championship. They had to come back this morning and finish the 3rd round, so it's been a long day. Brooke only had 1 hole to play this morning. This is her 3rd.
Again, you've got to deal with the slope that falls away from the players towards the back of the green here. And a little bit of right movement in this chip too.
I say that she only had 1 hole to play, but it's an early wake up. It's a full warm up just to play 1 hole. They went back to the hotel in between, took about a 20-minute nap. It's still, even though she had less golf to play, it's still a really long day for all of these players who had to restart this morning.
And she had so much momentum yesterday. She had that run of birdie, eagle, birdie, birdie, birdie from the 7th. Added a couple more birdies at 13 and 14. She was really on a roll. Dropped a shot at 16. She would have wanted to finish it off and get into the clubhouse. It was still a round of 64, which put her right in contention, played her into this final group. Now Nelly.
Got herself on a little upslope here, so it's quite a comfortable chip. She can land it on, there's like a little high point at the back of this green. She can land it on the top of that and just let it run down towards the hole.
Nice touch again from Nelly. She's already holed one from off the green. It was at the 10th. Let's take a look at the contact. It seemed pretty crisp, Morgan.
Yeah, she didn't hold off the club face through the ball as much as I would have expected. Played for a little bit more release. I went just beyond the hole.
We'll have that putt to get back to 14 under par. Dropped a shot at 11. And who's going to be first to go here, Karen?
I think very Haydan.
So much potential from this player. We got to know her last year, her first year on the LPGA, winning the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year. She won in Arkansas, as we've mentioned. I love her action, kind of that lazy action with a lot of power.
She has a really good attitude too on the golf course. Like, she seems to be really enjoying what she's doing, having, just really enjoying the moment and competing. Lots of potential, strong player. And this is a good place to putt from. Back uphill towards the hole, it can be aggressive.
See, she'll lower her left arm a little bit down there to help square up her shoulder, something that she's working on with Chris Cho. Tended to be a little bit too open.
Oh, it moved a lot, that one, didn't it? So she's going to stay at 10 under. 3 back of Nelly right now. Nelly has a putt to get to 14 under par. That task just gets a little more difficult for Haydan Yu to close the gap. As we know, though, the 18th hole being a par 5, things can swing quite a bit on that 18th hole. There's a little bio on Hate on you. 33rd in the world. Mentioned that one victory. She's from Seoul, South Korea, coming across to the LPGA Tour, which so many of her fellow countrywomen have done. To the best tour in the world. And the best players compete. Now, Brooke, plenty of youngsters watching. It's great to see.
It's been a really young crowd out here, Tom, so far this week. Lots of young families, young people in general. It's been really a really good vibe.
Well, Tom told them all they could skip school this week.
That was on Friday, yeah. Apparently the schools weren't in session, the Woodlands. That's what I'm saying anyway on Friday.
Yeah, but Chevron's worked really hard to make it a wonderful family affair, an opportunity for these youngsters to come out and watch their idols. I remember when I was a youngster out watching the LPGA players in Florida, South Florida, where I grew up.
She's aiming this one, a cup out to the right.
And it came back. That was so well read from Brooke. It gets her to 10 under par. She has really battled away. You can see the scorecard there in the early going. The fourth hole was shocking. Had some real short game issues on that hole. She was close to the green in 2. Ended up walking away with a double bogey. It's been gritty since then. Now Nelly.
You saw Brooks move to the left. Nelly's will move to the right.
No.
That was the first putt that we've seen her make in a long time where she didn't keep that putter going through impact, down and through. It kind of stopped a little bit, maybe just a slight deceleration in the stroke.
Just got to take care of this one. Okay. Nelly maybe feeling it just like the others. Played so well, but that wasn't the free-flowing stroke that we've seen so many times, Morgan.
Yeah, see her putter stops almost right after impact there.
It was never going to go in, was it? You always knew it was going to miss low. So just a par for Nelly. And she remains 2 ahead, short walk over to the 14th tee. It's going to be a busy year for the LPGA Tour. Started with the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. These are some of the notable events. The next major is the US Women's Open at Lancaster. Then the KPMG Women's PGA at Sakhali. Over to France for the Amundi Evian Championship. The Olympics in Paris, of course. AIG Women's Open will be at the Old Course, St Andrews. That will be very special. There's a Solheim Cup this year, back-to-back years with the Solheim Cup. And then the CME Group Tour Championship finishing off the season at Tiburon, where there will be a $4 million first prize. Big year for the LPGA Tour. Looking forward to covering it.
Yeah, Tom, great venues too.
Yeah,
wrapping
really
up with the Old Course at St Andrews. The AIG Women's Open in terms of major championship season. So to 14 they go, this final group. Missed opportunity for Nelly Korda on the last, so didn't get the birdie. Up by 2 over Coughlin. Here is Henderson at 10 under.
This hole is back into the wind. You do have that bunker on the right that the players will have to try and keep left off today. Not as easy to carry it as it has been in the previous few days. The fairway does kick down towards the left. Brooke hitting a little fade.
Yeah, there are 3 tough par 4s upcoming, 14, 15, 16. Combined have only given up 7 birdies on the day.
And eventually that opportunity at 18, the par 5. Very much reachable. Hate on you. Get a look at the ball flight with our Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
I think the player that needs to keep this one down the left side. Don't mess with the bunker, it's got to hold on.
find it?
Certainly looked that way from here.
Yeah, looks to be in the bunker. Just trying to avoid that off the tee here. Henderson was able to, and we'll see if Korda can.
Well, Nelly's been quite a long way right on this hole in one of her earlier rounds, in the high fescue grass right of the bunker. So hopefully she's got a short memory and doesn't even think about that, and pounds this one straight down the left half the fairway.
Something like that?
Yep, exactly like that.
Only 74 feet at the apex there, teeing it down lower, trying to flight the ball down so it doesn't get up and in the wind. Beautifully done.
5 holes to play, up by 2. Lauren Coughlin in second, all by herself, 2 back. See if she can make the charge down the stretch. But Nelly Korda trying to join those rare air. Nancy Lopez and Annika Sorenstam, winners of 5 in a row. Not done yet, though. Talking about the history of this event, the great champions through the years, turn of the century. Big time comeback for Kari Webb in 2006. But how about Annika Sorenstam, 3-time winner? And it was in 2005 that she won 5 straight events. The 5th was that win at the Chevron Championship. One of 3 players to have won this 3 times, along with Betsy King and Amy Alcott. So Nelly Korda looking for that mark, 5 in a row here today. Im up on the green, this for par. She missed the green with her second shot, scrambled to here.
It's been a very tough green to hit today. Only a third of the field finding that green in regulation.
Second at 16 for Coughlin.
She has a shot over the trees, but it's a question of, does she have enough club to get over the front edge? And
be closed out if you're right by that bunker or in that bunker. Yeah, we'll see. Meanwhile, Maya Stark, this to stay at 9 under.
Just a little bit inside right here. Not a lot to think about in this one. Can keep the pace up. Getting to the point where all of these putts mean so much. Spot on the leaderboard, prize money, CME points.
Yeah, major championships. We talk about history, but significant prize money too, with the purse being increased, especially this year. Okay. Been making those here on this Sunday, but for par, just that lone birdie at the par 5. Coming back for bogey now. 1 under on the round so far.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the way that she bounced back after a pretty tough restart this morning to her 3rd round. But this bogey here, this goes in either way. If it does or doesn't, still, if this hole's going to hurt.
Critical, yeah. You really like that, what she does with the elbows there.
I love her technique, and I love the results. She has putted fabulously this week.
All right, here's where Lauren Coughlin ended up. Now her 3rd at 16.
good leave, but not an easy up and down. Has a knob about 10 feet in front of the hole. She's got to get up and over that and let it release down.
Trying to run it all the way. Not going to get there. And it stops right on that ridge halfway there. Back at 14. 8 on you from the bunker.
Got 158 all the way back to the hole. Only 135 to the front of the green though. Just getting a little gust of wind. I think it's a good thing that she gets a high ball flight because she's going to need it to get up over that lip.
Safe plays right about at that TV tower. Sounded heavy, Karen.
Yeah, certainly was.
Oh, and it's in that, looks like it's in that middle bunker. That is an awkward shot upcoming. That's that distance, one of the most difficult shots in golf, that 50, 60-yard bunker shot.
Korda.
A little bit of a downhill lie here. And I think the ideal play is just a little bit long of this hole. This is just a smooch left.
No problem. Just past hole high on the surface.
Yeah, that's a safe play. She's just at the point where you need to teeter between playing your own game and playing slightly defensively. That one airing on to the left side of the flag. Have a downhiller upcoming for birdie.
And I know what your answer would be, but you wonder how much he's paying attention to the leaderboard right now. You would think so, coming down the stretch trying to win a major. Know where you stand.
You know, it's interesting, Karen.
You guys just
What
stand still.
what leaderboards are there out there? Brooke and Nelly both said on this back nine there were a couple holes where they didn't really see many yesterday.
No, there isn't one here. I can't see right now, so I'm having a look around. I haven't seen one in a couple of holes.
It'd be interesting if she knows that Lauren Coughlin is only two back.
Jason's always pretty aware, though, that he seems to have his finger on the pulse and is always keeping an eye out on things. This is a 9-iron. This has got to go.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. That actually made me chuckle. Jason is always aware of what is going on, and that's what he should be doing. He should be paying attention. Caddy should definitely know where their player is, even if the player themselves doesn't want to know.
So Coughlin's two back, but she has this putt to stay there.
And it's not straightforward. It's going to be moving pretty heavily from her right to left, back down this hill. The mistake was made off at the tee.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this 16th hole has been really tough today. Hasn't given up any birdies. Playing over 4.3 scoring average, and it is all in that tee shot. Left side is better than right. Right is nearly dead.
So the lead for Nelly is back up to 3. They got a trio there at 10 under par, including the two players she's playing with in this final group. 8 on You will be first to play here with her third. Got that bunker.
And she's got a fried egg as well. It didn't come out of its pitch mark.
Yeah, so she can't take on the flag at all here, Karen.
No, she's going to have to figure out somehow trying to find a way to get to egret to the green.
And there's the lie.
Yeah, it's a tricky shot here, Karen. There's quite a few different ways you can play it. Maybe take something like a pitching wedge and try and blast it up to the left.
Either way, I mean, if she comes out to the left, it's so hard to even hold the green because you can run through the green so easily as well.
We're coming your way.
And she's aiming over there, asking Nelly to move from the back left.
If she keeps this on the green, it's going to be a seriously good shot because this is not easy.
That would still be a seriously hard putt upcoming.
No kidding.
She's going with a square face here. Trying to just dig it out and got right underneath it. So you use the leading edge.
And now over the bunker for the next with very little green to work with.
Yeah, just, I mean, she didn't have much to work with here. She was set up right, but when you use the leading edge with this very heavy, thick sand, that can certainly happen. Trying to dig it out of that fried egg. It's just quite unlucky. But you could also say, can't hit it there.
Should have been there. Yeah, you say that to yourself as a player.
Yeah, I was going to say, Morgan, I think even if she had a great lie in there, it was going to be really difficult.
Yeah, no question.
How difficult is this now, Karen?
This is no bargain either. You have to carry the bunker, and then when it lands over the bunker, you're landing onto a downslope. This is going to require some seriously good touch, and it's going to be a test of nerves too, because you're going to have to walk that fine line between making the carry over the bunker and or carrying it too far. It's such a fine line.
Yeah, pretty much all you can do there, unless you want to really risk it once again.
Yeah, working on damage control right here.
So Coughlin ahead of this group at 10 under. Yu's going to back up a bit on the leaderboard, and Henderson now barely see Brooke.
It's a pretty deep bunker. She has a chance. I think if she flies this to the hole, it's going to stop. So you got to fly it to the hole, though.
Just carried it up there.
That's similar, Karen, to what she did on 4 when she made a mess of the 4th hole, hit her bunker shot heavy.
Exactly, except the one on 4 didn't come out.
Yeah, came in a little, just coming in a little bit too shallow on these shots. Let's see what we can see. This is a great angle to take a look here. She has a bit of a flat swing, just a bit too shallow in attack. Catching it heavy.
So you think about the last hole, the par 5, which when they made the turn, you look at that and say that could be a critical hole. Par 5 opportunity for Korda. She didn't make the birdie. This hole is turning out to be the critical hole.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, Nelly's tee shot was piped just where she needed to do, and then so was the second shot. She knew exactly where she needed to place it. There was a lot of target discipline when it came to that second shot for her, and it just takes the stress out of the hole, whereas everybody else is playing some stressful golf.
More than she wants coming back, but a putt that she's made time and again.
Yeah, that was a good confident stroke after maybe the one that looked a touch tentative on the last hole. No tentativeness in that putt whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, you talk about this hole, being a tough par 4 and really looking like it's going to be a very pivotal hole in this championship. The next 2 are going to be as well. I think it could really determine what happens. I don't think you can wait until that par 5 18th.
So Brooke with the putter now and no flag stick.
No, I think, Morgan, this is where you're going to see that little sort of chip putt move that Brooke puts on these. Plays it a little bit more back in her stance.
Yeah, we saw that on 16. She holed it earlier in the week from short of the 16th green. It's almost like a pop stroke, Karen.
Yep. She looks very comfortable playing it that way.
pushed right very quickly on her out of that fringe.
Watching them play this hole looks really difficult right now, Morgan.
Well, it is. This hole, I mean, this hole is tough with this hole location tucked over this bunker. Very difficult to get it close. Obviously, hit on missing the fairway, making it even that much more challenging. Brooke with the unforced error on that second shot.
So there is a leaderboard right there. The players are able to see.
I would think Jason probably took a good long look at it.
No question.
Did Nelly take a look there, Karen?
I didn't see Nelly peeking over, but I'm pretty sure you're right. Jason would have for sure.
So this to drop just one.
Downhill.
Great read.
Wow, that's a huge putt. Confidence builder. What a way to stop the bleeding here on this hole.
Coughlin on the tee at the 17th.
This is a 7-iron. Playing downwind today, 151 to carry the bunker. This headed right.
Wrong side of the ridge there, isn't it, Paige?
Correct. It's going to be a tough 2-putt from there.
So all three players on the wrong side of that ridge. Got to be on the left side today.
She may need to chip that one, Tom.
Yeah, it could be tricky.
Korda for par.
Back uphill.
It does. Barely, but it does go in to save par and stay at 13 under par coming down the stretch here at a major championship.
Final round of the Chevron Championship as we go out to the 15th hole, which is a very difficult hole, playing the hardest on the golf course as we sit right now. Just 3 birdies here. There have been no birdies, as Morgan mentioned, on the 16th hole. So this is a tough stretch. The toughest 2 holes on the course. 15 there in the middle of your screen with the water that really comes into play. And then the 16th hole with that difficult hole location today. And there's a bit of a walk from 14. But the players have now made it to 15T, and that's where we go.
Well, and Tom, the players in the previous few rounds have been able to hit 3 woods or hybrids off this tee just to get it into position, but Nelly's having to go with the driver today because it's blowing quite hard into their faces right now. Oh, she's just got a big gust right then too. Low ball flight.
Left side.
It is.
Dangerous. It is dangerous. Is that in the penalty area? It looked like it was heading that way.
There's not a lot of space over there, Tom. There's a little bit of high grass and rough, but it drops off pretty quickly.
Well, I gotta say, in the last hour, it's not the same Nelly as we've seen.
It has looked, Tom, I agree, a little nervy. She admitted to being nervous even starting the tournament on the first hole, and you're going to be in this situation. It's why you practice. It's why you put in the effort. You want to be in these big moments, but that...
It was really tough to tell there if that ball actually got into the water. It's got to be in the penalty area, but whether she can play it remains to be seen. Let's go back to the tee with Henderson.
Yeah, Nelly and Jason were looking at me like, where did it go? I'm like, I don't know for sure if it's up or not. This one's going to be safe for Henderson. This one fading away from trouble.
And she's got a good cushion, 3 shots, but a lot can happen here over the last 4 holes. This is the 17th, the second for Coughlin.
And it is incredibly difficult. She's got a very small area. She can land it and let it release to this hole.
Yeah, that
it's just gotten away from her. Yes, Tom.
Tee shot was just in the wrong spot, wasn't it? You've got to be on the left side of the screen today. That's something to watch out as the final few groups come through. Trouble off the tee at 15 for Nelly. We'll find out where that ball finished when we come back.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Chevron, the human energy company.
And this is Nelly walking down to where her ball finished, and we understand that it is in the water and not playable. So she is going to take a drop. Big change there in the proceedings, with Nelly making a mistake off the tee at 15. This is a par putt for Coughlin at 17.
And very slow back up the hill.
Needed to get it there. That's maybe the tentative nature under pressure. That was a big putt for Coughlin, and she is going to go bogey bogey at just the wrong time. So even though Nelly's made a mistake, the others are not pressing her. And that's where Nelly is going to drop the ball. I don't think she's going to be first to play, though. She's going to drop it back in the fairway, so that's a level lie.
Yeah, the red penalty line is pretty close to where the fairway is flat, or where the ground is flatter up top. So at least she'll have a flat lie. Brooke will be first. She's got 149 to go. It's a bit of a downslope.
Is it one of those holes, Karen, where if you get it close, it was a mistake?
I think so. No question. You don't really want to be flirtatious with that flag or anything near the right side of this green.
Man, this like 10 on at 34. 34 at that line is perfect.
Maybe Nelly's going to go.
How much wind is there, Karen, right now? Looks like the trees are blowing pretty good.
Yeah, once the ball gets up in the air, there's a lot of wind. No, Brooke is going. Once the ball gets up in the air, there's a lot of wind up there, but down here on the fairway level, it feels very calm. So you do have to trust that the wind is up there. And this is going towards the front left of the green.
Yeah, safe.
Yep.
You can see the slope there just getting a little better, but now Nelly.
That makes it more comfortable. I mean, this is okay. You can make this work. Control the other one. 143. At least 10 on it. Okay? 150. Off that lie, we're trying to pitch it probably 37, which I think is playing about that 53 number. %, and you just got to commit to it. Right now, that wind's gusting, but it's gusting. It's that same finish line. No, it should be about. It's just kind of a swirl what you see in the tree. The wind should be right here. Yeah.
So ball's a bit above her feet, and she's got a 7-iron out for the shot. Now this is where you kind of have to take your medicine. The tendency is to want to try and make up the ground for losing one into the penalty area, but it's such a dangerous hole location.
Doesn't like it, does she?
No, it's going more towards the flag.
Oh, she doesn't like it, she will now.
My word.
There was one hand off it. I'm not sure that was the shot she was trying to hit. But she'll take it.
You're could hear that conversation with her and Jason. He's so positive in this moment, really trying to keep her in the moment. And you could kind of hear the energy in his voice, really helping her refocus.
It's so important, Morgan, that talk, and he's continually talking to her. He's still talking to her now. It's just so important for her going forward. You from a great spot on the fairway, 136 to the hole.
So that 13 under, the tee shot, bit of a struggle for Korda here on this hole coming down the stretch. And as Tom said, maybe not the same, not as sharp the last several holes here in the final round, but still leading by 4. May have gotten away with one there on the approach.
Yeah, that was a bit aggressive, but it's going to work out for her. She's going to have an opportunity here to save par.
So you've been in this position and won this championship, as a matter of fact, back in 2007. How about Nelly now, what you've seen from her, and look ahead to these last 4 holes and what she should be thinking at the moment?
Well, she needs to rely a lot in this moment on 2 things. One, her ability, because we know that it's all there. She has proven it, especially in her last 4 starts. So she should take a lot of confidence from that. But also in what we just saw from Jason, she gives him a lot of credit for keeping her in those moments, keeping her in that bubble that she has talked so much about, especially coming into this week. You kind of sense that maybe she's realizing what she's about to accomplish here, and a couple of those nervy shots that we've seen over the last couple holes. We haven't seen that really up until this point, but she has recovered from any adversity that we've seen so far this week very well.
You know, you have 18. We've had an eagle at 18. Georgia Hall eagled 18 earlier today. 28 birdies so far. So it's a hole where you can definitely press the issue. If you're a Lauren Coughlin coming down the stretch, that's what you have to be thinking right now. You know, it's interesting. A Brooke Henderson, hit on you in that last group. You'd think they're playing with Nelly Korda. Collectively, they're 3 over par today. They really haven't put the pressure on her. It's
not the type of golf course where you can play too aggressively. And I think that's what we're seeing, especially with the conditions today, the firmness of the greens, even though there was a tremendous amount of rain that fell overnight. Greens have not really softened all of that much. It has still been a difficult golf course, and Nelly has just kept playing her game, maybe making it a little more interesting than she would like here on the 15th hole, but we knew this was going to be a tough stretch, this 14, 15, 16.
One of those pursuing. Coughlin off the tee. It is reachable into 498, the par 5.
And downwind today. Very nicely positioned.
Yeah, and definitely thinking about getting there in 2. Would be able to. Back to 15.
Yeah, the final 3 ball here. Looks like Henderson is next to go, Karen.
Yep, she's the one that's got her ball down, and this putt's going to break to the right, downhill to the hole.
Oh, Karen, there's a perfect example of Jason doing exactly what he needs to do, getting Nelly to laugh. Whatever he just said to her, kind of keeping it light out there.
Exactly, like anything to keep her mind off of what's happening right now, because, you know, in this moment, you think about what happened on the last hole. She had to wait a long time before she had that putt because she was watching Hayden, you know, try to figure out a bogey, and Brooke was trying to figure things out too, so it took a long time. So she's a naturally very quick player, and you don't really want to let your mind wander. And Brooke, she's made some big putts this week, but this is a tough one. Breaking to the right.
Dry. You've seen a swing at the top of the leaderboard there. Korda with a long par putt to come. Brooke is going to stay at 9 under. That was tracking, and you can see how close it was to dropping in. Brooks made 4 birdies today and still over par for the round. Almost. You know, these two have come close to winning this championship before. In fact, they were both in a playoff when Mirim Lee won in the COVID year. Nellie's had some close calls. She wasn't far away from getting into the playoff last year. Hit on you. Will be next to go for the birdie.
Tom, you must have seen some putts from here. I mean, this is so slippery down the hill. It's very hard to play aggressively. It all seems very defensive, and yet, you know, you've got to make up some ground. It's you know, which way do you end up going? It's so difficult to buy in.
In this situation, when I mean, she's got to start making some putts. Would you rather have the downhill putt when you kind of have to make it?
Typically, yes, because you getting the ball to the hole shouldn't be a problem. All you have to do is just think about starting it on your line.
I think she started it on the right line. No.
No.
That one was a bit of a wide. Nelly driving it in the water here at 15 on a very difficult hole. Still has a chance to save par. And this one's going to be downhill as well, Karen.
It will be. Not quite as much as the other two. It's just a little bit awkward to read because the way the shadow of the tree at the back here kind of makes it a little tougher at the start. And then the tendency is to feel like it wants to break towards the water, but the hole is kind of tilted away from the water.
It's good for pace. So it is going to be a bogey for Korda. She's going to fall back to 12 under par, and it's going to be 2 bogeys in the last 5 holes, having had that run of bogey-free golf. It's not as free-flowing at the moment as it was for Korda, a little tighter. And let's go up to the 18th.
One of the big storylines coming into the week, Lydia Ko just 1 point away from the LPGA Hall of Fame. You get 2 points for a win here. Not going to win, obviously, but finishing up in style. Won the opener to the season in 2024. Lost that playoff in the next one. The start of the charge by Nelly Korda.
Hit on you, not quite in yet. This one to stay 9 under, 3 back with 3 holes to play. Case of how much these players will press over the last 3 holes, trying to close the gap. 16, a very difficult hole. 17, the par 3, where you could make birdie, although we've only had 8 birdies today at the 17th. Yeah, well done. But then 18 is where it can get interesting. As Harry mentioned, an eagle has been made there today. 31 birdies, certainly a birdie try, but no birdie chance. But these players need to try and close the gap between themselves and Nelly Korda at the top of the leaderboard. 3 to play at the Chevron.
Back with the second at 18, par 5. Lauren Coughlin trying to put some pressure on the leader.
194 to carry. This on a good line.
She's going to end up getting a drop away from that hospitality suite.
Still searching for a birdie at 16 today. Difficult driving hole, Henderson.
It really is, with that bunker on the corner and players tending to keep it down the left side because of it.
Watch it.
Yeah, it's heading towards the bunker. Ooh.
pivotal to hit the fairway here on 16, especially to that back right hole location. Anything up the right makes it very challenging.
Yeah, very difficult to get to from the right. I don't know if carrying all over the far right of that bunker is even too much of an option. I suppose you could with a hint of help, but well, this is heading right.
Four.
Oh, look out. Yeah, that's well right. Hard path right.
Yeah, you can see all those big trees. Lauren Coughlin was over there. It looks like it kicked back a little bit left towards the bunker, but
came back, yeah.
Still going. You can see those trees in her way.
All right. After that bogey at the last, here's Korda.
So again, you know, you got 270, gets into the bunker on the right. It just feels like such a tight squeeze, squeezing it in between the bunker and the trees on the left and rough. This is drifting to the right.
She had her drive right on 11, drive left on 15. Just hasn't been quite as sharp off the tee on this back stretch.
Yeah, awfully tough. She knows as well as anyone to close out major championships in 5 in a row, which only a couple players have done that. Coming down the stretch, up by 3. We'll see the situation at 16 for Korda next. Back 9 of the first major championship of the season on the LPGA Tour. Coming down the stretch, Nelly Korda found the penalty area off the tee at the last, found the bunker at 16. We'll have to deal with that. Lauren Coughlin getting a ruling up against the grandstand at 18. Get relief from that, so work to do for her. Try to put some pressure on the leader as the lead is 3. And here is Coughlin, whose best finish to this point in 7 years on the LPGA Tour is a share of 6th. Here she is sharing 2nd at a major.
And not an easy up and down if she wants to try to climb a little bit closer to Nelly Korda. I will say, having taken relief, it actually is a slightly easier shot, not as severely downhill as if she had stayed in the rough, but it will be downhill once it hits the green, and now it's a decision of whether she's going to bounce it through the fringe, and if so, how many bounces.
It is quite remarkable, this performance from Lauren. I mean, if you look at, she's played in 9 previous major championships, and she's beating her combined scoring average by almost 4 strokes here this week.
They didn't like the kick.
It's a tough miss. Certainly you don't want to miss short here on 18, but it's so quick from beyond this hole.
She'll have that for birdie to get it to 10 under and finish. Here at 16, there are the trees in between Hit On You and the green.
Yeah, the trees are going to be a problem, and you know, she's found a pretty lush piece of Bermuda grass as well. She's going to give this a go. She's got a 6 out.
Looking up at the top of the trees, yeah.
She's going for that super high shot.
That's a really high shot to hit out of thick Bermuda rough.
Oh, she got plenty of height on it.
At the distance, though. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a shot.
No way to hold that right there, but landed short of the pin.
That was quite remarkable there, Terry. I mean, out of that thick Bermuda grass, tends to knuckle like hers did on 11.
Korda's 2nd from the bunker.
Nearly has an 8-iron out. Got a little bit of an upslope here to deal with that lip, but this is a high lip. Oh, she hit this one high too. This one's going to the left side of the green. It was a good strike.
Okay, job number 1, get it out of the bunker. She did leave a shot in the fairway bunker on the first hole earlier this week. So job number 1 out of that high lip, get it out of the bunker. Stays really still with her lower body. Catches, of course, the golf ball first. Launches it way up in the air.
All right, so Henderson from the fairway. Top Tracer Technology presented by Progressive Insurance. Take a look at the ball flight.
This one seems a little boring from the fairway. Trying to fade this towards the hole from 113.
You're going to see a birdie at 16.
That's the best opportunity we're going to have all day.
Absolutely.
Since there has not been one yet today.
It's amazing. Haven't seen one. And much needed right now for Brooke Henderson if she's going to have a chance. To 17.
A tough day for Ataya Titikun. This was just a moment ago. And this is how you get it close at this par 3. Wonderful. She was thinking it might be in, but it's pretty close to Taya. Now, she was leading the way when play resumed early this morning in the 3rd round, so has fallen back quite a bit. Let's go back to 16.
Talking about Jason, her caddy, and joking around on the last hole, making her laugh, trying to take her mind off of it as a player. She's talked about being in the bubble right now, and I guess you don't want to get ahead of yourself at this point.
Absolutely not. It is one shot at a time. Where it's my target, what club am I hitting, what shot am I hitting, execute. And you cannot get ahead of yourself in any fashion.
So the lead is 3. Coughlin with a putt to make it 2.
And it's another one that is right back up the hill, very similar to the last hole. So it's going to be a matter of being assertive through impact to make sure that she's getting the ball to the hole. Also just a little bit right to left, but otherwise not a lot of trickiness to this read.
That is a big putt right here. Must make.
She did. Spectacular week for Lauren Coughlin. 68 in the final round. Second time here at the Chevron Championship. Didn't make it to the weekend last year. She sure did this time around.
Just amazing. And under the Sunday pressure, that's 68.
So 10 under in the clubhouse right now. The leader at 12, out there at 16 or 3rd.
And this is not a bad place to chip from. She's going to chip onto a downslope and it's going to go uphill towards the hole at the very end. This doesn't have too much break to deal with here. I mean, she's really chipping across that little ridge that runs across the center of the screen.
Reasonable effort there. A little bit more work than she would like. But after being in the bunker, smart play to the left side of the green. And here it is, just focus. Okay, what do I have to do on this next putt?
And it has been more work the last several holes. Think about what Tom was talking about and all that she's been through with any athlete. You know, it's not a direct path to the top of the world. The injuries, blood clot back in 2022, working her way back. And now just in the middle of a dream run. 3rd for you.
Ball's a bit below her feet, but I think you just land this one right on the about a foot onto the green and just let it run down towards the hole.
Great touch. It's a really good recovery after the tee shot where it ended up. So Lauren Coughlin has been on the bag this week, and those two have had some time around here for 4 days. And what a finish.
Yeah, lowest score on the golf course today. Lowest round. 4 under. Only 2 other players are 2 under on the day. Just has played better than anybody so far today.
So she is done in the clubhouse at 10 under. Henderson back at 16 with a chance to pick one up.
This one's got just a smidge of movement to the right. And there's the leaderboard here to the left of this green. There's been a number of interested parties looking at that leaderboard right now, seeing that Lauren has posted.
Yesterday to today, all of those went in yesterday.
And that's the difference. I mean, I always feel it comes down to who makes the most putts under the greatest amount of pressure on Sunday. And it's always, we say it all the time, it's hard to back up a round like the round that she put together yesterday, and in these tough conditions as well.
So Korda to stay at 12 under.
And this part is not all that easy. It just seems a little sneaky around the hole.
Had to work for that and got it.
Really solid stroke there. Like you can see that sigh that she let out. You got to be prepared for everything. It's been fairly smooth sailing for her so far today, but you know, mentally coming into this round, had to prepare for any kind of adversity that might come her way. You almost have to expect it to come, so you're not surprised when it does.
Stick around long enough in this game too. You know that without even thinking about it. Yeah. Eight on for par.
Again, I'm still marveling at how high she got that shot up and over those trees and landed it where she did. Just so much talent.
Stays right there at 9 under, 3 off the lead. So Nelly Korda, a par 3 and a par 5. That's what's ahead. That's all that stands between her and 5 straight wins.
Other one's having issues. It's not on.
Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching the green. Big round of applause for Manami Tetsu Karaka.
Back on the 17th hole. This is Maya Stark for a birdie. This would be the 10th birdie today on the 17th hole. It's $100,000 per birdie to charity from Chevron. So that's $1 million being donated for the birdies just from today on the 17th hole as part of that Chevron challenge. Gets her to 10 under par as well, so she's only 2 behind, has a chance. And Maya Stark has the firepower at 18. But Nelly Korda is in the driving seat. As they wait back on the tee, it's going to be Henderson to go first.
I feel like they've been doing a good bit of waiting today, Karen.
I'd say every single shot, Morgan. They've been hanging around, and which gives Nelly a lot of time to think about what's going on.
It's usually what you don't want, Karen. A lot of time to think.
Not at all, because as soon as things start slowing down like that, it allows the odd stray thought to creep into your head and penetrate that bubble that has been surrounding her. I think she's done a remarkable job this week in general. Brooke really got to take on this flag, give it a go. Just right now, catching just a bit of a wind gust into the players. It's very sheltered. It's very hard to tell what this wind's doing. The clouds aren't up in the sky at the moment, so you can't even look up there and see what the overriding direction is. Just have to trust that you have it right.
Three behind, 2 to play.
Sit ball.
There's a bit of a ridge there, but I think not quite enough to bring it back towards the middle of the green. 8 on you will be next to go. We saw the tee shot from Mattia Tittekun a little earlier. She did make her birdie there.
At the moment, the club selection is a 6, but looks like she might be making a little switch. It kind of feels like the wind has got a bit of helping to it right now. Yeah, she went down to the 7. That makes sense, having felt that wind behind us. Her eyes just looking at the spot, just slightly right of that flag, hoping to use that slope that's there. Oh, this is all over the flag, if it's the right club.
It is. Great shot. And it sets up a good birdie chance for Head-On You to get it to 10 under. And we know she's got the power at 18. Now Nelly.
Nelly has a 7 iron too. Her eye line is going was just a little bit left of the flag just then.
There's trees rustling around there on the right of the tee.
Yeah, and now I'm feeling a wind gust into. It's this is a really tough spot for Nelly right now. She should probably wait for this wind to pass.
Gonna stick with the same club here, Karen. Just recommit, refocus.
Yep, still looking just at the same spot, just slightly left of that flag. This is on a little draw. This is a really good line too.
Oh, it's fabulous. Watch out. Oh, it hits the flag. Would you believe it? What a shot from a player who has proved she is a great champion.
I think she likes this hole, Tom. She nearly holed out earlier in the week. Hit the flag stick. Wow. What a swing, especially feeling a little bit unsettled there on the tee to readjust, refocused. And just, this was a moment she needed to put one of the best swings of her life on this shot, and did she ever?
just all runs down from there. She knew it was going to be good. And she had hit some loose shots over the last few holes. That was a really good swing. That was exactly what she was trying to do. Fantastic. And now it's not over yet, but if that goes in, just inches her one step closer to equaling that record of 5 wins and 5 starts.
Meanwhile, tee at 18, an eagle to tie for Maya Stark.
Look at how far right she's aiming with this tee box moved up today. Opportunity to carry those trees. She looks like she clipped them though.
May have settles in. Coughlin done for the day, standing by with Amy.
Thanks so much, Terry. We were just watching the highlights of what Nelly just pulled off. Lauren saying Nelly doing Nelly things, and Lauren doing some pretty amazing Lauren things today as well. Melting that Sunday charge, a 68 from you for not only your best finish on the LPGA Tour, but best finish in a major. What did you learn about yourself and your game this week?
Yeah, I think I learned to just stay patient and take what the golf course gives you, and I learned that I could just hang in there and be with the best in the world. So it's pretty cool.
You had your husband, John, on the bag along for this experience. He told me earlier this week he's been telling you what you do is enough, that you are good enough. What does it like to share this experience with him this week?
Yeah, I mean, he kept me calm and cool, and, you know, it's a lot of it's just I enjoyed being out there with him, and you don't get to do things like this a lot, and so just to be able to get to do it with him is pretty awesome.
Congratulations on a fantastic week.
Thanks, appreciate it.
It was tremendous week. Lauren Coughlin from Virginia, 4 under 68 in the final round, and this to finish to get it to double figures, 10 under. All right, back to the 17th.
It's going to be Brooke Henderson to go first. She's just on the other side of the hole there, directing Nelly with moving her marker.
And Hayden had to move hers as well, so yep, here we go. She's got to move it a little bit more. Just clear a path for Brooke's putt.
I was going to give those two players a good line for their birdie putts.
It will. It's not. None of them are particularly easy. They've all got movement to the right, and for a right-handed player, any putt that moves to the right is a lot harder.
This is really a must-make for Brooke. 3 back. Nelly's got a great look at birdie. There was a time to heat up the putter like she had it yesterday. This would be it.
Just a slow putt up the hill here. Make sure you get it to the hole.
Didn't quite get it to the hole, so just a 3 for Henderson. She'll remain at 9 under, needing some magic at the 18th and some help from others. But all eyes on Nelly.
So a critical second now for Maya Stark here at the par 5 18th.
Yeah, she's going for it. Got hybrid in hand. Lie doesn't look too terrible. Nestled down just a fraction. Might jump on her out of this lie. We saw from Lauren. Wouldn't be surprised if this goes over the green. She couldn't have landed that in a much better spot, Terry, especially coming out of that rough.
Going to curl back a little bit too.
It's going to be tough, but she's got to make it. You'd have to think.
You got a chance. You give yourself a chance. I've had 1 eagle at 18 so far, 33 birdies on the day.
And head on you, another putt here that needs to go in.
little bit easier than Henderson's, obviously shorter. And as you said, Tom, got a good read from Brooks, but she also now knows that it's, as Morgan was saying, quite slow.
Well, no prizes for leaving it short. Oh, did the ball move? Yeah, just indicating that the ball moved.
Just replace it back here.
Yeah, it's one of those funny things about the game. We're going to sit there for a little while longer while she tries to get the ball to stay steady. Is it going to stay? Yeah. It doesn't want to stay there, does it?
No, well, you put it to a spot that's as close as you can possibly get if it doesn't want to stay there. Some of those random things that happen sometimes on a golf course, that you mark the ball, you put it back, and then for some reason it doesn't want to stay there again, yet it stopped there in the first place. Such a crazy game.
Okay, now ready to go. As for the birdie, is to get it to 10 under par within 2. More pace on that line, so it's going to be a 3 for Haydon Yu, and she will remain at 9 under. Nelly hasn't moved her marker back yet, but she will do now. So she's had 2 reads there from the 2 players she's playing alongside, as Nelly.
And she has, and she knows it's got a good bit of break to it, and that it's a little bit slower than you might think. Here's the reason for seemingly wanting to take more break.
She will have learned that it's definitely a little bit on the slow side, and the grain will take it quite a bit as it loses speed.
This to make the task on 18 just that little more comfortable. For a 3-shot lead. Across the hole on her. Didn't quite keep the speed up. Well, still a 2-shot lead, and we've got Maya Stark behind the green at 18 and a chance to tie the lead, so this is not over yet.
A little bit similar there, Tom, to the putt that she had on 13, breaking left to right, where she didn't keep the speed up, broke out of the hole.
Brooke just going to clean this one up.
Still think there's just a hair of movement to the right in this putt. You don't want to be sloppy on this.
So Henderson with the tap in, and Nelly Korda just one par 5 away from joining 2 of the greats of the game, made history. Nancy Lopez, Annika Sorenstam, 5 straight victories. Just think about that last tee shot at 17. It was a world #1, great champion on a roll, basically thinking, okay, it's time to put this away. Didn't make the birdie putt, and a reminder that in a major championship, even when you're in her situation, nothing is easy down the stretch.
No, everything. Your breathing starts to tighten up. Everything starts to change as you get nervous, and she has to be feeling the nerves. Anybody in this situation would be. I mean, obviously we talk about the ability to win, the opportunity to win 5 straight. I mean, if you look at the last 7 seasons, only one person has even won 5 times in a season. That Jin Young Ko in 2021. Nelly looking to win for the 5th straight start. And standing on the 18th tee with, at this moment, a 2-shot lead.
Your second major, 13th win on the LPGA. 5th straight third player to win 5 in a row in that $1.2 million first place prize. And the pressure doesn't stay the same. The pressure builds every win, right? And the second, going back to back, and then 3, and then 4. You come to a major championship, and it would be for 5 in a row. Everybody watching you from the time you step on the property here on day 1.
And she's done a tremendous job staying really focused. And her coach, Jamie Mulligan, has been with her all week. Jason, her caddy, says it's been great to have him here. Keeps her very light and not thinking much about what really is at stake. But you wonder deep down how much she really is thinking about it. She has to be. It's time to put all of that out of your mind right now and put a perfect swing on this tee shot. She hasn't hit her driver all that well on this back 9.
Well, his swing it on. You only have to hit it 240 to. I mean, it's just rough. It's just rough. So I'm trying to finish right at that point. Or can I finish on it? You have to finish right at that.
Wind is helping here. Tee is in the forwards position, so no problems for the players to get to the green in 2 with a good tee shot.
Just got to take it over those trees, Karen.
Yep. Just over the left edge of the first one. Little fade.
Yeah, that's in a really good spot. All the way down there up the left side as well. So we'll have a pretty good angle to the left hole location.
Brooke hasn't had the day she envisioned. 1 over after the 64 in the 3rd round. And on you, 2 over for the day.
And we know Hayden doesn't have a problem getting height on her shots. Right over the tallest tree.
Target basically is just that Rolex clock. You see it in there? See where the bunker kind of just the middle of the bunker.
Yep, safely in the fairway, well behind Henderson right now.
Just down left to right, just a smidge. Just down.
And Korda.
And her line is just over the, more to the, on the right side of those front trees. And there's a clock that's behind the green that she's aiming at. There you go.
Loves it.
Perfect. Center cut. That is just in the driver's seat.
1 step closer here on the final day of the Chevron Championship, the Woodlands in Texas. So Nelly Korda in the fairway off the tee here at the closing hole, the par 5 at 12 under. The lead is 2. Maya Stark, we saw her reach, go beyond the green, and still waiting on that 3rd shot from Stark. A chance, if she were to hold this from off the green, to tie at 12 under. Got a ruling up at 18, taking some time. Jin Hee Im up there, so this final group will wait a bit.
That's what they've done all day. And as we talk about it a lot, as quickly as Nelly likes to play, she's probably the fastest player on tour. It kind of like icing the kicker all day.
She's handled it.
She's handled it beautifully. She really has.
See there where they are off the tee. So Nelly looks like she'll be the last to go. And more of a wait.
Yeah, she's just got to be thinking, okay, what's my distance?
Well, I was going to ask you, what do you do with this next one? Yeah,
It depends on the distance that she has. Whether she has a comfortable full club, in between clubs. A lot depends on where she is in her club step.
And it depends on what Maya Stark does right here too. So it's Stark, Matai Titikun, and Jinhee Im in this group just ahead of the final group. All three started at 8 under par. So Stark 2 under for the day, and Paige McKenzie is up there. How about this third for Maya?
Well, she's got a high lofted club, which is telling me that she's not planning on bouncing it too many times through this fringe. I think maybe a one hopper and then let it trickle down from there. Again, it's quick once it hits the green.
So this for eagle to tie. More.
Oh, what an effort. What an effort. She knows it.
Morgan, that looked good for a while.
Yeah, she knows it's probably not going to be enough, but that was a wonderful pitch shot right there. She made that look so easy. That is really quick once it gets on the green.
Tap in birdie to post 11 under. The 24-year-old from Sweden. We got a win back in 2022 on the LPGA Tour and 6 wins over in Europe. 3 rounds in the 60s to close it out. Trail by 1.
She has beautiful imagination. I've seen it quite a few times so far in her short career on the LPGA Tour. Oh, look, it had to look so good from her vantage point, tracking right on line.
So it's a 1-shot lead for Korda as she stands and waits. And she did watch, not watching right now, but she was watching that. So well aware, you would believe, that the lead is 1.
If I was Nelly standing right there, I'd be taking a lot of deep breaths in this moment, not paying too much attention to what is going on, but some deep breaths. She looks quite relaxed right there at this moment.
Does look relaxed, but it's got to feel like forever right now, right? You're used to this in the game of golf, but you're not used to being in this situation in the game of golf. Even her winning 5 in a row.
I mean, it has been a really slow day out here at Terry. They teed off at 11:36, and right now local time it is 5:28.
Yeah.
Tough conditions, but it has just been really slow.
As I mentioned, she'll be the last of the 3 to play second shots. And the green just clearing now. And on you will be the first to go.
She's got 2.16 to the hole. This is a 4 hybrid for her. Already seen how high she can send this. I think she's going to need to send this really high to get this one to stop as soon as this is downwind. She does have a little upslope, which will help.
No, we haven't seen anybody yet, Karen, land it on this green and be able to stop it going for the green in 2. That carried all the way beyond the green. That'll might need to take a drop from that grandstand back there.
As many have.
They did move the grandstand a little bit further away from the green this year than it was last year, making the pitch a little more challenging.
I think you just hold it up. There's like a race to CME. That's still inside the bridge line, so. Good? Yeah. Good swing. Good throw.
So Brooke's got 190 to the hole, but anything like 175, 180 will do it. She's got a 5 iron out. Well, this is coming in a little lower than you'd need.
Takes a hop, though. I mean, that did not clear by much.
And that bank it would come right back into the water. A little bit of a good fortune there for Brooke.
Nelly playing quickly.
Nelly's only got a 7-iron here, so she's going to hit this high and she's got all of this one too.
Oh, yeah. That'll settle just off the back.
Gosh, you have to think that's wrapped right there.
You would think. Clearing the water, getting it to the surface just off, and that walk toward history.
She might be able to take a bit of a breath right now.
I don't know. I mean, maybe she'll be able to, but I don't know if you do.
It's never over till it's over, but what a performance she has put together this entire season, but especially this week with all eyes on her, all of the media, all of the public pressure. She has maintained her bubble to the best of her abilities. Made us a little bit nervous here coming down the stretch, but she had built up enough of a cushion. I mean, those last two iron swings that she has made, Terry, that one nearly holding it on 17 and then here on 18.
Yeah, I thought the challenge would come from that final group. It really didn't, but for Maya Stark, Lauren Coughlin, both double figures, and Stark got it to 11 under, so she had to come up with big shots down the stretch. And the welcome here on that walk up to the green at the last. An incredible sports family. Her dad won the Australian Open back in '98. Mom played in the Olympics in Seoul. Sister Jessica, brother Sebastian. I mean, just and all watching. Saw that shot earlier today. Jessica at home watching.
Yeah, I've been texting with Jess a little bit as this has been going on. Her parents are out there watching. I'm sure Sebi is watching from afar. They all support each other so tremendously.
And his mom and dad watching that final approach and knowing safely across the water.
I mean, earlier this season, I had said that I'm really excited to see what Nelly's capable of. A season where she's finally healthy with everything that she has struggled with in injury throughout her career and times that she's been forced to take off of the game. And she said it's given her a greater appreciation for when she is out here. But Terry, I don't know if I saw 5 straight wins on my bingo card.
I don't think so. I don't think many did.
It's just phenomenal.
Said she was just exhausted after that last win. Key to have a week off, although it's another week to think about then what you're on the verge of maybe doing.
You talk about her sister. She spent some time with Jess last week. Jess said on our coverage that they don't talk about golf. She tries to help her take her mind off of the golf, and they don't think about that.
And on you, going to wait here near that grandstand. Yeah, and the comments from other players this week too. Lydia Ko just in awe of what Nelly Korda has done. Forget about what she can do right now. 5 in a row, just the 4 in a row. You know, Lydia said back to back is hard enough. Takes so much out of you.
I mean, she won in Bradenton, where it looked like she was going to lose to Lydia Ko, winning in a playoff. Takes 7 weeks off. Comes back out and wins in Palos Verdes. Bogeys the last 2 holes and then wins in a playoff. Yeah. And then adverse conditions in both Phoenix and in Las Vegas, match play, different formats. I mean, it's just been truly remarkable.
Not quite done yet, though. First, though, it'll be Brooke.
And this one is back uphill for Brooke.
Certainly not the final round that Brooke was looking for, but really, I mean, wonderful performance yesterday on moving day to get herself in this final group. And love what I've seen this week, especially with that club in her hand, that putter.
64 yesterday, the best that we've seen on this golf course in the 2 years it has held this major championship. And then 72 today to finish up at 10. So relief from the grandstand. Back to business for Korda. Taking a look at this next one coming up.
It is, and Terry, for Nelly right now, just keeping your mind on the job at hand is pretty tough. It's so easy to let it wander.
Mulligan coach, they're watching alongside the 18th green.
These chips downhill, the Hayden. It's going to require some pretty serious touch to judge this one just right, but I've seen her hit some good ones already today.
Nearly did. Might have caught a piece.
Yeah, maybe just one groove low. Didn't have any spin on that one, but it's so quick from beyond this green.
And why not finish in style, Morgan?
Karen, what is break a little bit left to right here?
I think that's the read, Morgan, and she just has to keep her mind quiet right now because it has to be racing.
That cushion is just one. Oh.
Quick putt. Cushion is one, but that was for eagle.
Eagle, yeah. But if you're a player, you're like, okay, let me make sure here.
Yeah, as we've learned, even in this championship, in the history of this championship, you can't take anything for granted.
I know what you're referring to. Putt just out of a foot. All right. Go ahead and finish here.
I think both Brooke and Hayden can kind of hold their heads high. I mean, it's not easy playing with Nelly when she's in this kind of form with the crowds, or you could really feel the momentum of the crowds, willing Nelly along every step of the way. So I think they can hold their heads high, and I foresee some battles certainly between these threesomes over the course of this next year.
Yeah, you really just getting things started, but already 33rd in the world in the Rolex rankings. After holding a one-shot lead to start the day at 11 under. And now the stage belongs to the #1 player in the world. streak continues. It's 5 in a row as Nelly Korda captures the Chevron championship. And she just refuses to lose right now.
This is just truly remarkable. It's something you see so rarely in sport, this type of a winning streak. And what a way to do it in style. Major championship, second of her career. Take some time to celebrate with her team. They've all worked so hard to get to this moment. No one more than Nelly.
Nancy Lopez, Annika Sorenstam, and now Nelly Korda. 5 wins, 5 straight starts. Dad loves it. So there is that list, and it is a short list. Nancy Lopez, that great year in 1978. Annika Sorenstam, 2004 over to 2005, and now it's Nelly Korda who's standing by with Tom Abbott.
Yeah, incredible stuff, Nelly. Congratulations, that second major title, but more importantly, 5 wins in 5 starts. How were you able to do it this week?
I don't know, but I can finally breathe now. That back nine felt like the longest back nine of my entire life. But yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a grind on the back nine, but happy to, you know, get the win.
Sort of changed there at the 11th tee. It seemed like you were starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, I was definitely starting to feel it on the back nine. Just the nerves setting in. It's a major. I mean, it's everything that I've always wanted as a little girl to, you know, to lift that major trophy. And as I said, I can finally breathe now and just enjoy the moment because I was definitely really nervous. I feel sick to my stomach.
What is it about you and the way you play the game and you go about your business that has made you able to do this?
I think there's a key in the simplicity that I have when I play it. I honestly just take it a shot at a time, and we pick a game plan when we get to the golf course, and we work and we stay in our own little bubble, and it's been working so far. I feel like maybe sometimes golf can get overcomplicated, and there's there's a key to the simplicity of it.
The simplicity is working. Congratulations. It was wonderful to watch. Terry?
Thank you.
Can finally take a breath. That's an honest reaction, Morgan. We kind of thought that going down the stretch, and there you have it.
It looked a little bit that way, that she was getting a little bit nervy, but to hear her say that she felt sick to her stomach, the longest back nine of her life, and still able to play just remarkable golf.
Race to the CME Globe standings there atop the list, and closing it out with the birdie at the last final round, 69, 13 under, joining that small list who've won 5 in a row. Not done yet. Just keep winning.
She's in the field next week.
Yeah.
Should we say that?
Wilshire Country Club, yeah, Game Eagle. Well, I mean, it'll take some while, just some perspective on this and how difficult it is today's day and age to win 5 straight on the LPGA Tour at this level. Sensational stuff, and a major champion.
She has to have immense pride in what she's accomplished. Her entire team, you saw that special moment there with her coach, Jamie Mulligan. I mean, they have all worked so hard to get her body healthy to be able to accomplish this incredible feat.
Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news here on NBC. If you want to check out the trophy presentation, that ceremony is coming up on Peacock. So switch over to Peacock if you want to watch that trophy ceremony now. And what a final round. Started with cloud cover. It was really chilly. The wind was blowing. They finished the 3rd round, and then 3 under. 13 under total for Nelly Korda. Another major championship for Korda, and now, yeah, 5 in a row. For Morgan and the crew, I'm Terry again, and thanks for watching, everybody.